What are you guys doing to prioritize safety? Because I know also a bunch of Twitch content creators said that they were too scared to even come to TwitchCon this year, just in case something like what happened yesterday would happen.
Yeah, so I mean, the safety of our creators is a top priority. The challenge we face is a challenge in today's society. It's not limited to Twitch, it extends throughout our society. I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so that those people that you don't want, you know, engaging with you and participating with you aren't today. They basically don't bother me, okay? Now, what happened yesterday obviously was something that, you know, we care deeply about securing this environment. You know, we're looking very closely at everything that happened there. This is just something we have to keep working on. I think everyone identifies our tools in terms of trust and safety as the leaders in the industry of helping.
Leaders at what? What are you leading in? In like the harassment, like stalking? I don't even understand, like, or like terrorism?
Just to give you a sense of the monumental fuck-up that transpired yesterday.
It's actually Emiru's fault that she got assaulted, everybody. That's what I keep seeing, too.
Video of the incident comes out and goes omega viral. Twitch releases a statement about it, stating they have zero tolerance for harassment.
Okay, then why'd you let the guy go? And then why'd you give him a 30-day ban? Like, what? What are we doing here?
Emiru drops a tweet stating Twitch has lied about the whole thing. The person in the video that protected her was her own security, while Twitch's security completely ignored what happened or were even laughing, letting...
This was definitely set up by a lawyer, by the way. It's definitely like lawyer speak.
The person just walk away and leave the convention. After all of this, Twitch's CEO Dan Clancy goes live on his own stream, wondering TwitchCon. And then at the very same time as Clancy is streaming like nothing happened, Emiru goes live on her own stream.
I asked them, you know, like, what are they gonna do about this? And you know what they said initially?
Please say it.
They said, oh, well, he's banned from the platform for 30 days.
Yes, for 30 days.
Dude, everybody called this. Everybody knew this was going to be how it was going to be like.
They were banning him for 30 days.
What?
As soon as this happened...
Dude, Grums was the first person that I saw that completely called it.
Clancy started receiving calls and ended the stream saying this.
Turns out I have a meeting coming up that I hadn't planned. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Sorry about going live.
Look at that. Look at that. Roblox right there. Actual pedo apologist Dan Clancy.
And then dropping off. I need to be somewhere.
They actively cover up the role that they played and misrepresent a situation to make themselves look good to avoid accountability for someone being sexually assaulted at their event.
Yeah, how about that? Avoiding accountability every single time, dude. They don't know how to take accountability. Everything would go so much better for them if they weren't such fucking narcissists, man. So let's talk about another narcissist, Pokimane. Apparently, she fucked up even worse.
Let's see here. Pokimane, no one's getting fired.
Context. Zap! A couple of days ago, people found out Pokimane cancelled the scheduled release of her podcast with Hasan, and just as everyone thought she finally stood on business, she posted this tweet.
The episode was supposed to air as usual, but staff refused to upload it. Out of fear, it had caused drama and posted this statement without my approval. We'll talk about everything on this week's episode and go on hiatus afterwards to restructure.
Now, they still haven't released the episode with Hasan, but she did say this.
Also, we had someone who helps us with socials, who's also stepping down. We have an editor who also has a full-time job. Over the last, month...
We're not firing anybody. We're just having people resign and step down.
We've just had a lot of restructuring issues within our staff. So when I made that tweet, it sounded like we're restructuring because of this and I'm firing everybody, but that's not what I meant. I literally meant we are in the middle of restructuring, and kind of what happened is
he's useless.
Pokimane hired these guys to deal with the podcast.
Go on. Sounds good to me. We fixed the glitch. He won't be receiving a paycheck anymore, so it'll just work itself out naturally.
We always like to avoid confrontation whenever possible.
We're restructuring because of this, and I'm firing everybody, but that's not what I meant.
But let's see the way that people are reacting to this. She fired people. We hate the... Do you remember her saying this?
Do you think someday we'll have a revolution like that in America? It's getting there, right? The wealth disparity is getting bad. And we hate the rich.
Aren't you the rich?
No! Like the ultra rich, the ultra...
I remember covering this. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh no, I mean the ultra rich. Now that I'm a millionaire, a multimillionaire, I'm talking about the billionaires. The millionaires of the billionaires. I've got a link down there in the comments. You should definitely click it. Donate to the Fables Folly Farm. It's not really called that, but you know, that's what I'm going to call it because I am the one taking the donations for it. It goes directly to the farm. Even though they go to me, it goes to the farm. So you should definitely click that. It helps out so much, man. We're trying to build community here. We're trying to do really cool things here. And yes, I stole that slogan from Nick Nocturnal. So click the link. Right, Bernie?
The unnecessarily.
We hate the people that make $8 million a year. Well, how much do you make? $7 million a year. Wow. Oh, wait a minute.
All right, let's go over the fast facts, the TwitchCon liability nightmare.
TwitchCon did not go well, and we're going to talk about it today on the episode of
Not going well. That's an understatement, bro.
Legal Mindset, where we teach you to be your own judge. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney. I'm back after a short break. It's good to be back with you guys, and it's good to have some time for myself. So let's get right into it. We've got, of course, a PP for you today, a nice PowerPoint on the death of Twitch. It's actually several issues.
This is a big PP. Big PP energy.
That are really compounding for Twitch, some of which we've been talking about on this channel for a very long time. So, of course, the main one, the one that everyone's talking about and the kind of main death knell I'm seeing here for Twitch is the Emiru assault. And that is due to the failure or lack of security at TwitchCon. She was denied her own bodyguard. There was an assault. An individual came up and attempted to hug, grab, grope her without any permission, warning what.
And it really seems like he pulled out a knife, but we can't really tell. The image is kind of low quality. Of course, how it always is. The images are always low quality.
Whatsoever. And that,
like, we have 4K HD and we have 4K zoom in, and it's always still low quality. How about that?
That is a major, major issue, particularly since we know that Twitch has had security issues in the past. Then we had a bunch of bungled mistakes with Chibidoki's meet and greet, in which she was at first denied entry. There's some reports that she was forced to unmask herself in front of certain people in order to identify herself, and then cutting that meet and greet short. So a lot of problems there. Then you've got Hasan, the golden boy of Twitch, under pressure, which once again, while not happening at TwitchCon, happening around the same time as TwitchCon, indeed is not good for Twitch. That's their golden boy. That's Dan Clancy's favorite, and that's an obvious problem for them. And then the last, and one of the most important, is the lack of moderation of Twitch content, which perhaps is the most dangerous.
Oh, no, wait. No, you're wrong, Legal Mindset. There is moderation of Twitch content if you don't support the narrative, if you commit the criminal act of wrongthink. But if you are for terrorism, that's okay. If you are violent and you are a sexual freak, that's fine.
And puts them in a category along with Roblox in terms of potential regulatory action. So let's start with Emiru's claim. So obviously, if you saw in the video, and most people have seen the video.
Dude, I bet the FBI is absolutely losing their shit over this because they've been investigating and things keep happening. Welcome to the club, guys.
You can watch that in my live version, which we go over everything and all the video, all the facts. But if you saw that, you saw that, hey, she had concerns. She has a history of stalkers that have come after her. There's a massive history of security issues at TwitchCon and with Twitch events in general. And
when it comes to their large creators, if they don't completely support the narrative of democratic socialism, that's what they like to label it as, when really it's just degeneracy and lies and evil and manipulation. And if you're not that, then you get nothing.
Therefore, there are several causes of action that she could pursue. First, there's the general negligence.
Asmongold is one of her friends. So, of course, this all happens to her and nothing is done about it.
So that's essentially broad negligence for failure to detain the individual. They just let them walk out. They failed to coordinate with law enforcement. Really, they bungled.
Yeah, like, how did this guy not get arrested immediately?
That overall, but
wasn't there a police presence there? Like, what happened?
Beyond that, there's a more specific negligent security claim. So essentially, the organizer failed to provide adequate measures to prevent the incident. So sufficiently trained personnel, barriers, etc., things they could have done to protect Emiru and the streamer. Of course, they did not do that. And given the fact that
in hindsight, we could have done more. They completely ignored people like Tectone, like Asmongold, like the thousands of other streamers who were saying, hey, there's going to be some problems here. And they kind of listened by saying, oh, we're going to up the police presence. We're going to up the security. It wasn't enough. Obviously.
2019, 2022, 2024, and earlier this year in Rotterdam in 2025, there were significant security issues.
Yeah, and by the way, they basically forced Emiru to do that event, that meet and greet, in order for her to have a show. And that's fucking bullshit.
They should have known. This was not a first off. This is not a first time event. This is not something they should know about. Dan Clancy tried to play this off as, oh, this is just something that happens and it's normal and it's a sign of the times. And, you know, streamers can control their community. That doesn't work. As an organizer, when you put together an event, you have a responsibility for that event to be safe, particularly if there are known risks. And streamers are at risk when they're out there, not just from parasocial fans, but people that might want to hurt them or harm them. That's obviously something that is out there. And then you, of course, have breach of contract. So there may have been safety provisions, and I don't know this. This is my speculation.
Dude, I've been seeing a lot of comments. I've even been getting comments saying, no sympathy for e-girls. And it's just like, what the fuck, dude? I don't even care if you're an actual prostitute. You should not be having violent acts committed against you.
There may have been some provisions in her contract. So if I was her agent, or if I were her himself, I would go to a lawyer and say, hey, look, is there anything in my contract here that was breached? Because it very well may have been something breached in that contract. The last one, though, and I think this one is the most poignant, is the post-incident handling leading to intentional infliction of emotional distress. I think a lot of things, such as them joking about this and, you know, otherwise minimizing it, I think that is absolutely harmful for her, given her history with stalkers. She has a long history with stalkers. It's a known thing for her. And I think failure to do that, inflicting someone with that emotional distress and then taunting them, adding to that fire, definitely makes...
Fire everybody who was doing that, by the way.
They're
viable. Not gonna.
So I think that if she goes to a lawyer, these are all things they should look at and consider. Maybe they don't go with all.
I think she already went to a lawyer because that statement that she made seems like a lawyer wrote it.
All of them, maybe this go maybe negligent security and IIED, intentional infliction of emotional distress. But these are all things that I think are very viable for Emiru. Let's get into Chibidoki. This is one that was brought up by my VTuber lovers. And this is one where Chibidoki's event, and very beloved VTuber Chibidoki, had an event that was cut short. So not everybody got to see her. And that's because they were concerned about safety because the line was too long. But beyond that, they also botched the event in terms of the wristband. So they gave her a wristband to enter, and they wouldn't actually let her enter. They had to send her over to the desk to get permission to enter. And at that point, some people have reported she had to unmask herself, which, of course, for VTubers...
Yeah, that's absolutely disgusting. Like, yeah, we have to know who you are, even though you're trying to remain anonymous.
Which have a very, very specific
for safety
security
risks
and financial interest in remaining anonymous. Number one, obviously, just like all other streamers, their identity, if they choose to remain anonymous, and put them at risk, put them at massive risk. But beyond that, if you're thinking about these people financially, VTubers financially, a lot of them base their entire strategy, their entire monetary strategy, on not being unmasked. So if they're forcing a VTuber to unmask himself, to reveal himself, that is something that could undercut their actual financial stream, their model, and therefore I think there could be some financial damages there as well. So let's go over Hasan. This is one I really find interesting. So at the exact same time this is happening, I've seen several videos of Hasan kind of hitting his limit, where he's saying, I'm just tired of streaming, nothing's working, you know, no real change is happening. You see him out here with his dog, and he's walking wearing a bulletproof vest with a press label on it, a press chevron on it, walking around a very, very peaceful city. and people are obviously pillorying him for that. I will say this, and I am obviously taking a different route, and you've seen this with a lot of my coverage of Somali Vitali, where even the people that are my enemies, even the people that don't like me, I still say they deserve a chance, they deserve an option to do good, to be forgiven, to choose the right path, choose the good path. Even Hasan, I'm willing to look.
Yeah, so many people are giving him an out. I'm giving him an out. Asmongold really gave him an out, and he's not taking it. I hope he does. I hope he comes around and stops supporting terrorism and violence and stops lying and manipulating. I hope he just comes out and becomes a normal person. Really, I think he needs to get out of politics because he's a fucking moron and doesn't actually know what's actually going on. He's surface level and also supports violence.
Past all the defamation that he's done and say, hey, Hasan, for the best, and I can say this myself, having just taken a streaming break, it's one of the best things I did in my life, to just take a solid break where I just didn't look at the internet for several days. That actually was quite good. And
I also did that. Well, for 2 days.
The things I did do during that time was do some charity work. I actually gave some, we helped somebody prepare food and give it to the less fortunate. I did some donations, helping out the homeless, going to the temples here in Thailand. And once again, I think that's very fulfilling. Hasan's in LA. They got Skid Row down there between, 3rd and 7th, right? Where he could go down there and help the homeless, help people out. If he wants to do something in line with his socialist views, he could go start a community garden. He could go pick up a shovel and start digging and plant some plants. Whatever. I think that would actually do him some good right now rather than streaming and continuing to dig himself deeper, as Collargate is not going anywhere anytime soon. That's going to be going on.
Dude, it just got worse again, by the way. We're about to get into it, man.
For a very, very, very long time. And I think it actually raises some very interesting questions, particularly in regards to, and I do stand by this, of, hey, look, you're putting the shock collar on the dog, put the shock collar on Hasan. Someone actually suggested to me that they do it as an armband or on the dominant hand or on the wrist. So it shocks somebody there if they go to do an action, which would be very, very, very Pavlovian training for somebody who's doing something wrong. But once again, I think Hasan definitely needs to step back for a second as kind of the profile of a spoiled Nepo baby who's never seen anything real. Instead of going out and doing fashion shoots and GQ or whatever else, he needs to go out and actually help people, and maybe he'll be more fulfilled, and maybe he'll actually, go down a better path. But of course, we can only hope, right? We can only hope. Now, let's go here with moderation. This is a big one, and this is one that I'm very interested in, particularly as I think it's heading down the Roblox route, essentially, because with recent tests, which I've seen others run on Twitch, with starting a new channel and trying to stream whatever, including very vile content that would not be acceptable on most other major platforms, stuff that would get you banned immediately. Well, all of that stuff bypassed the filters, all that stuff got on Twitch without any moderation. And the big issue that appears to happen is Twitch appears to lack any automated moderation, relying on manual moderation. The problem with that, with purely manual moderation, particularly if it's not getting the...
People are biased, and they're going to go after people for wrong think and calling whores and fat people fat.
Most vile stuff is, number one, you're letting a lot of stuff that clearly breaks TOS past, but beyond that, you're actually engaging in discriminatory...
Yep, and then banning Tectone for nothing, banning Asmongold for something that Hasan says, but Asmongold said it about the other side. So, and he was right, by the way, about some cultures being more inferior than others. And he is absolutely correct about that.
Moderation. So some are punished severely, some are punished a very long time. You call somebody fat, you're out for, a month, whatever, right? Whereas others are not punished at all. They're given a pass. This is something that leads to a massive danger for regulatory action, that is states taking action. And especially if this dangerous content is getting out there to people that are minors, which is a massive part of the Twitch ecosystem. So if you look at the Roblox regulatory action, you could see very similar stuff happening on Twitch because they know this is an issue. They very well know this is an issue, and they're just choosing to ignore that. So my conclusions here are Twitch is facing all of these issues at once. And because they're facing all of these issues at once again, it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen next week. But this can be the death spiral for Twitch. This could be as they go down. Or technically,
they've been on a death spiral for a long time. because they've never been profitable, and it's getting worse. And the sentiment around the platform is getting worse. Also, there's not very many small creators on Twitch compared to the big creators, and that's not good. You have to have the small creators.
As they get hit, and what could happen? Well, of course, you also have parent company Amazon, which was just cyber attacked, likely due to their over-reliance on AI by Amazon Web Services. That just happened today, right? You could have a lot of that stuff maybe is going to be automated. Maybe AI is going to take over. Of course, there's problems with that. As you see, without a human link in that chain, it can be kind of sloppy. It can miss things. It can over-regulate. And I think the time is right for lawsuits right now, regulatory action or replacement of Twitch leadership, aka Dan Clancy. So
I think it's not going to happen. Nobody's going to sue Twitch. Nobody's sued Twitch or any of the streamers so far for any of this bullshit. And I think it's still going to not happen. Because if you destroy Twitch as one of the biggest creators on Twitch, then you lose your platform and then you got nothing. And it's all about money, man. I like Emiru, but she is one of those people, and I just don't see this happening.
I think the time is right for all of these things, and I think we should continue to monitor it very, very closely, because I think there will be action.
Yep.
Emiru definitely should bring a claim.
I don't see it happening.
Definitely should try something against Twitch.
There's
hope. No reason not to at this point, and there's more than enough basis for her to bring that on one of those causes of action. But
well, I think the reason that she wouldn't is because she is one of the, if not the largest creator on Twitch. And if she goes after Twitch and she can't be on Twitch anymore, then there goes everything, or at least most of it. She could go to another platform, but she's not going to be near as big.
I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if you like the fast facts. If you're glad.
I love the fast facts, but I also don't think anything's going to happen. Hopefully it does. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'm usually not, though. So let's move on to the Hasan news. Hasan has completely lost his mind. Well, he already has. And now he's just trying to clean everything up, and it's making everything worse.
To a series so lightning. Even Kakashi subscribed. In today's video, Hasan's dedicated fans are begging him to apologize for shocking his dog. A new clip.
Yeah, it's not gonna go away until he actually takes accountability. But even if he does that, we'll just move on to the next controversy he gets himself in, because he's a fucking degenerate, terrorist, lying, manipulative moron.
Is going viral, where Hasan mutes his mic and apparently zaps his dog the exact same way. An incriminating clip has surfaced with Valkyrie and QT Cinderella, where Kaya appears to be scared of Hasan and not following instructions. The Shock Collar Company has come out and confirmed.
I have a problem with my dog not listening, because whenever I'm trying to get her to do something, she thinks I'm trying to play with her. And her tail starts wagging, and she's like...
Hasan was actually using a shock collar. Hasan's cat lady army is in full force, desperately trying to defend him. Ultimate Gooning Lord Dan Clancy is blaming Emiru for getting SA'd. Hasan is crashing out at his chat for bringing up Ethan Klein, calling him irrelevant. Hasan is once again blaming Tectone for everything. Asmongold has responded. Destiny has crashed out at Hasan for being a spoiled...
yeah, I saw this.
Nepo baby. Subscribe to absolutely win at life in everything you do. Pegasus guarantee.
Let's up those numbers!
Right, so the Hasan shock collar drama continues. So Hasan apparently zapped his dog, and we had a ton of stuff go down. Now, last time, Hasan was having a complete unhinged meltdown, saying he's going to quit streaming, saying he hates leftists and socialism, and he hates his
he's just crying. He's not actually gonna do anything.
Own miserable life, because his 40-month subscribers were turning on him for zapping his dog.
That's all I hear from Hasan.
I can't stand any of you dumb in this goddamn chat. Oh my fucking god, I hate the left. I hate liberalism. I hate everything that's going on every single fucking day of the goddamn week. I hate my life. I hate fucking streaming. I hate socialism.
Well, it continues.
Here, let me translate for you.
Now, and people are not letting this go. Hasan gets asked by long-term sub to apologize for his mistakes.
Oh my god. I'm a Hasanabe head, but why is this so hard for you to apologize that you did your pet wrong, brother, and you're going to do better in the future? It would help you and it would strengthen the trust.
Because Hasan never does anything wrong. He's never done anything wrong.
In relationship with your reviewers, if you apologize for your mistakes. No, that is a Hasanabe head. That's like legitimately a long-term community subscriber.
Why don't you listen to them then? Holy shit.
Who seemingly hasn't seen me take accountability for not immediately going over to Kaya to check in on her. That is true. But I did.
Holy shit, bro. That is not what any of this is about. Oh man, he's so cooked. Like he's literally just outright lying to his audience and they know it at this point. I think before they didn't know it, and I think people are catching on because holy shit, dude.
Take accountability for that. Now, if you want me to take accountability for being a dog abuser, well, then that's not accountability. That's just me agreeing to the insane hallucinations of seemingly that person as well as the rest of the people online.
Right, so now your long-term subscribers, right? People who watch you for years and years are asking you to simply put down your massive freaking ego and apologize, and you accuse them of hallucinating. People who have literally watched you for years, and you're gaslighting your own audience, bro. Now he also says,
just like a lolcow, by the way. That is straight up lolcow behavior. And he denies that he's a lolcow, and he's even brought it up. Which, by the way, every lolcow does.
I did take accountability. I mean, I don't really know what he's talking about. You gave 10 different excuses. You changed your story every single time you were caught in another lie. Your dumbass took off the prongs and taped it over and then showed it to your stream, thinking your audience is dumb enough to believe that it's not actually a shock collar. And to be fair, a lot of them were, people like Taylor Lorenz, for example, which is obviously tragic. But the few people who actually dare to question you, you even asked your audience in a previous video, please employ some critical thinking. And the people who actually do that, they're hallucinating, of course. Of course. Your eyes are out of context, guys. And his chat is endlessly hurling insults at them. Effing cult, bro. Yeah, but Border Patrol shot a dog in Texas. How is that even related? First off,
yeah, I keep hearing people bring up like, well, what do you think about Kristi Noem killing her dog? And it's just like, bro, that is completely outside what we're talking about. And also, I'm not right wing, so I don't know why you think that I care.
A bunch of people can do a bunch of horrible things. It is unrelated to you zapping your dog. You're obsessed. What am I supposed to be seeing in those clips? Nothing happened. No shock in Bossing Say, guys. Moving on to another clip going viral. And this
dude, everybody's talking more and more about Bossing Say. I love it.
Time, Hasan is completely caught.
There's no terrorism in Bossing Say.
Again, red-handed.
Trump was potentially going to use to potentially put pressure on Jordan's king to try and take in more Palestinians, correct? I mean, that's what we've heard from Trump over the course of the past few weeks, is that Jordan and also Egypt.
We all know what happened there. It was so obvious. Like, the dog didn't even look at him and knew exactly what to do and looked like she was in pain. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Wow, guys, it seems that Hasan is just well-versed in the Force, it seems. You see when his dog just randomly happens to run back to the bed.
Jumped up like something happened, like a zap.
Randomly decides it was because Hasan was using his training from fucking Palpatine. We need to actually contact George Lucas and tell him the updated lore, right? Palpatine's updated apprentices are Darth Maul, Count Dooku, Darth Vader, and Hasan, of course. I mean, he's actually a supervillain at this point. There's no denying it. Also, I just love how he muted the mic. I mean, that pretty much seals the deal, right?
Yeah, so if Kaya yelps, then it won't be heard by the world and they can't clip it. But we clipped it anyway. You fucking idiot. What the hell are you thinking?
He wanted to mute her yelp. That is a level of diabolical I've never seen before. This man knew that Kaya will actually cry and yelp, and he basically said, Kaya will cry and nobody will hear her. That was basically the implied quote from Hasan.
I have no mouth and I must scream.
Hasan Palpatine Piker here. The release of Kaya to the other side of the room has been postponed indefinitely. Cease movement, if you will. Crazy unlucky timing that Hasan just happens to be reaching for a Zin each and every time he notices Kaya out of frame, guys. He just happens to be noticing it. He happens to
It was her Dewclaw again.
be reaching. It is so unlucky. Oh my god. If only you knew how bad things really are, bro. Poor Kaya, man. Look at her. Look at her. The poor baby. Didn't forget to mute this time. Bro's power tripping. I want people to not lose sight of the core problem. It is effectively evidence Hasan is using Kai as an aesthetic for his stream, not just a shot caller in the context in which it's used. He verbally says Kai's name and place. It's not—
Yeah, people try and tell me, actually, shot callers aren't bad. I don't know anything about Hasan. People just keep talking about shot callers, so I'm trying to defend shot callers. I'm like, bro, I don't give a shit about shot callers, really. I think that it's bad, but that's not what the problem is, really. The problem is how and why he was using it.
Not hard to lip read here. She immediately gets up and responded. When she's not fast enough, he shocks her. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Not fast enough? Or if she's sitting on the other side of the bed and she's not sitting as cutely as he wants, he still zaps her. That's— bro, this guy's a psycho. If he's not doing cage fights, he's busy electrocuting her. So not only is it effing warped to shock your dog for an aesthetic, he has repeatedly shocked Kaya before she was given a fair chance to respond to the order. She needs to be—
What order? What order? Like, he didn't even look at her. She didn't look at him. Or what? He looked at her. She didn't look at him, and she knew. She knew what was up. I wonder what happened there. How did she know?
Instant, apparently. You find yourself asking if he really loves Kaya when that button is completely optional and he's trigger happy with it regardless. Let alone the order itself seems completely unnecessary. You can obviously see the dog's reaction as soon as she's shocked. Nope, I don't see anything. There is no dog. There is no caller, actually. I don't know what you're talking about. So Ethan responded, calls out Hasan. 8 months ago, she was guilty of the capital offense of trying to cool off on the wood floor. She tried to stay as close to the platform as possible, too. Nope, not enough. Not enough for Palpatine Piker. Bro's like a Dementor from Harry Potter sucking the life force out of Kai on a daily basis. Okay, this is definitely a Pegasus viewer. To be fair, I steal a lot of jokes from the comment section as well, so thank you. Moving on to a clip of Kaya being so traumatized, she thinks that all Hasan wants her to do is to stay on the bed. And this clip actually incriminates Hasan's girlfriend Valkyrie and QT as well, because she is seemingly aware of Hasan's mistreatment and still spoke out against it. Kaya flees to her safe space from LA streamers.
Please pose with the dogs.
Kaya, get up. Kaya, over here.
Hey.
Kaya.
No.
Over here.
No. Over here. Come here.
She doesn't know. She.
Kaya, come.
She thinks she's
Okay. Come.
Come here. You need to speak to her in a nicer tone.
Get over here. Sit.
Okay, Valkyrie's fucking retarded. I don't speak to my dog in a nicer tone whenever I'm giving her commands. I speak in a stern, commanding tone. I mean, she knows what I'm doing. And she seems to like it. Whenever I give her a command, she wags her tail and looks up at me and she's like, thank you for giving me an order.
Get over here.
I don't know, it's just not hard to be good to your dog. I don't understand.
Damn dog. Come here, dog.
She thinks she's in trouble.
Good girl. Sit.
Wrong way.
I wonder why she thinks she's in trouble. Probably because her entire life is just her being in trouble.
Bro, the way you interact with her. Chat is thanking you, saying thank you, Ray, for being nice to Kaya.
Well, it's a tone thing. Like, she thought she was in trouble because you're being so, like...
She's saying that Hasan is a bad dog owner here. And Hasan thinks he's the greatest. Perfect dog trainer.
You never Kaya. He speak like this.
This is why she ran to you at Cutie's party last night.
Oh no! She wanting attention and good vibes? No, can't have that.
Interesting. So, first off, the dog is so...
Dude, that was fucking cold. Did you see the way she was like, huh?
Confused. Oh my god, Hasan wants me to do something other than just go back to place and sit there for fucking 5 billion hours? Bro, I just realized, oh my god, I just had the most insane thought in my head. This shit is like the Citadel from Star Wars The Clone Wars. If you guys don't know the Citadel, and if you haven't watched those episodes, it's goated, by the way. It's a maximum security prison which tortures Jedis, right? And it's surrounded by lava, and there's a bunch of lightning droids and shit, so that's like the zapping coming in. Poor Kaya is in the Citadel. That is diabolical, bro. Second off, I find it very interesting Valkyrie is concerned. Hasan is shouting at his dog.
Yeah, she's basically the whole time like, you are treating your dog wrong. And she's right. Kinda.
In an aggressive tone, which is confusing her.
I don't think that you should baby talk your dog either. I think that's weird. And I think that puts dogs into a place where I know a lot of people who do that, and you have to talk to their dogs like that or they freak out and get angry, especially if you like talk to dogs with a lower voice.
Right, obviously, because she's like, oh, you want me to go here, and then, you know, you're screaming at me. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, the shock remote was also right there on the table in full view of Valkyrie and Cutie, right?
By the way, I know a lot about training dogs from watching dog trainers train dogs. A lot of them, a lot of different ones, because I like watching dog training. And I think I'm pretty good at training dogs.
So when Hasan zapped his dog, why did
I'm not saying I'm the greatest, but compared to Hasan, holy shit.
Did Valkyrie come out and defend him and say that, oh no, she's a spoiled baby, oh, there's a genocide going on, we should be talking about more important things? I mean, in my opinion, it's just unbelievably hypocritical, and you're obviously trying to defend him for no reason here. And
Oh no, there's a reason. It's because she's been dating him for years.
Cutie did the same thing. She tried to defend Hasan over and over and over again, except she's dumber than a sack of rocks and accidentally exposed him to be a liar who definitely owns a shock collar, right? Because she said, okay, you cut off the prongs and you put tape on it, so it can't.
And he was refusing to actually show it to the camera. He was just like, you know, see, here it is. You see the shock collar? It's right here. There you go. Look at it.
Shock, guys. Well, it is a shock collar then, right? So you people are complicit, right? You never want to be. This is a life lesson. You never want to be a Hasan orbiter in the legendary Pegasus series. You just
you by extension become a lol cow. If you are defending and orbiting this guy, you are a bigger lol cow than he is, because that is just absolute desperation.
You just don't. It's not a fun position to be in. It does not end well for your PR. Remove yourself from this position immediately. But if you want to stay there, feel free to go down with Hasan as well. By the way, I find it particularly pathetic because these two people, they don't even need Hasan, right? Valkyrie and QT are popular on their own, or, you know, with some other associates or whatever. So
they should have just shut the fuck up. They should have stayed quiet.
They don't need Hasan. This isn't Froggen, right? They don't actually need his support at all. So they choose to do
Yeah, it actually hurts them to talk about him. I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
this, and it's pathetic. Pure responded, you need to speak to her in a nicer tone, elevates the tone. Don't tell me what to do, woman. That's probably what he said in his head, not gonna lie. He's an absolute misogynist, Mr. Bro Tips, Andrew Tate knockoff, Diddy party enjoyer, send me nudes on Snapchat. I got this shit memorized at this point. Mr. It's okay to great women as long as they're from rich colleges. Absolute freak. The most well-trained dog who is not able to simply come over when called. You see, the problem is, he didn't use enough electrocution, right? If he just zapped her 600 billion more times, then maybe Kai wouldn't have bitten that other dog at the party, right? Dogs who are taught by fear are not well-trained dogs, they're just trying not to get hurt. Exactly. This clip is so sad, the dog is so terrified that she gets confused. Of course, if this is drilled into you like a fucking military sergeant there, and you get punished anytime you do anything different, of course you're not gonna go anywhere else but place. Even when he openly shocks her, his chat will still defend him. I'm so
My dog is snoring so loud right now.
done with Hasan's chat, bro. I'm done. Shout out to the 40-month subscribers, though. Like, gaining a single brain cell. But the fact you're sub for 40 months, I mean, I feel like your brain's already gone at the point. But, and you're still sub. So, like, I don't know, bro. You can call him out, but also stop watching him, you know? Moving on to the product manufacturers. This is cinema. The maker of the color in Colorgate, Educators Colors, responded to an email request about the color. Hi there. To me, that looks...
I'm not sure if this is real, but if it is, holy shit, this is insane.
It's like the low to medium power RX090 receiver that comes with most of our units out of the box. It looks like someone cut off the contact points and put tape over it to maybe cover up any rough edges. Oh, I assure you that was not for rough edges. Left for cutting instead of just replacing the contact points with a comfort pad. If you want to be sure exactly with the receiver, you will need to remove the tape.
Well, if you put a comfort pad on it, then it automatically looks like a shock collar that you just put a comfort pad on.
Don't ask Hasan to remove the tape, please. So, ladies and gentlemen, if any Hasan fan ever calls you a fucking schizo stalker freak, just show them this. I mean, I can't believe it. Like, I mean, it was already proven without a shadow of the doubt with the way the online detectives matched it, the overlay, QT Cinderella who goes to his house a bunch of times and she confirmed it, and now we have the manufacturer. I mean, you just can't argue with this. Apparently the manufacturer's Zionist, guys. Oh my god. The internet, he cut off the prongs and put tape over it. Hasan's friends, he cut off the prongs and put tape over it. Hasan fans, it's not true. And a conspiracy. And if you believe it, you're falling for Israel propaganda. It's always Israel. It's in my cereal. It's in my walls. Oh my god. There's no coming back from this. Bro has the manufacturers on his ass. Using the scale provided, rate how much you like animals. And it's 0 for Hasan Piker the Shocker. And it's 10 for Hasan's uncle, who is into bestiality apparently. And he, you know, weird fucking guy.
Well, even if he's not into bestiality, he's definitely for it.
Hasan reading this, clock is ticking. This meme is really coming back, huh? Hasan's poor dog every time he gets into a stream room. Don't let him push the switch. Okay, JoJo Part 4 reference is goated. Like the video, we got a Kira reference. Cinema. Moving on to Hasan's cat lady Ami defending him. Jennifer Welsh defends Hasan, claims it wasn't a shock collar and that she didn't mean to say the collar was tight.
Oh, she didn't mean to. She didn't mean to say it. She didn't mean to make Hasan look bad.
Okay, quick context. Here's what she said before.
I think her collar's too tight.
Well, it's
you have to be able to get 2 fingers. And
Why would you say that on stream?
I couldn't even get 1. I think you're choking her.
she's like,
Okay, so I can say, as somebody who was at the house 2 weeks prior to this incident, it might even have been 10 days prior. So
Who cares if it was 2 weeks or 10 days?
I saw the collar when he took it off. There was no mechanism or any sort of shocking thing. This dog is spoiled rotten. This dog.
They keep coming out and saying the exact same things like all the leftoids do. They all come out with the same talking points. They never have something different to say. It's like they all come out at the same time and repeat each other.
Adores Hasan. After we did the streaming, the Twitch, we went out to his like kitchen living area, and she is laid up on the sectional. A lot of people don't let their animals on the sofas, which I think is bullshit.
Yeah, and the journalist over here, Taylor Lorenz, is just like, yup, I agree. It's like, bro, why are you talking to the journalist who thinks the exact same thing you do? Why don't you talk to a journalist that has no opinion on the matter? Because this is not journalism. This is so ridiculous, man.
And that's something I've had it with people that are like, we don't let our pets on the sofa. I'm like, well, then you shouldn't have gotten a pet. Hasan's dog has free reign. And then Marsh, who is Hasan.
That completely goes against what Hasan says, where Hasan said that she had free reign of the house, and that's not good. What are you talking about? You're just blowing smoke. You're lying. That's not even what Hasan said. He was mad because the dog had free reign over the house. What are we doing here? I know what we're doing here.
We had this little like floral halo type, like little flower girls wear. I forget what they're called. And we were putting it on her. We were doing a photo shoot with her. And then I brought it up to Hasan again.
Because she's a fucking prop, dude. Why would you need to do a photo shoot with a dog? I mean, I'm completely fine with it, but with all the other context, holy shit.
You need to get her a bigger collar. And he goes, feel her neck fur. Come here. And she's just, and then, she is so, her hair is so thick that he had to put it, and it really wasn't even.
But you couldn't get your finger through it. What are you talking about? If it was just her fur, then you would have been able to push your fingers through her fur. You lying sack of shit. You're just running defense. Because Hasan is your friend.
Type because her hair is so freaking thick. But
Dude, I've had dogs with the thickest hair. You can still get your fingers through it. Like, this is just smoke.
it bothered him that I thought that maybe her collar was too tight. And so we even had a follow-up conversation about it. So when I saw the whole thing about her, you know, like barking or yelping or whatever.
Well, we've got one more instance of this happening where he muted his mic for some reason.
That dog, when I was on the stream, I was on it for maybe like an hour and a half. She had free reign of the entire room. Like, she came to me.
She's allowed to go to the other side of the room. Of course, whenever there's going to be another person there.
Would have crawled in my lap if I would have let her. Then she laid down by the feet. Then after that, we went and filmed a podcast, and she sat under the table of the podcast. It's not like he forces her to do things.
Dude, none of this means anything. Well, what are you talking about?
And so I was so shocked.
That's like, he's not going to abuse his dog in front of people unless it's his stream, because those aren't real people.
That number one, Ben Shapiro's using footage of me to make some sort of bullshit case. But I want.
Oh, Ben Shapiro! Ben Shapiro's using footage of you. What about everybody else? You have to mention the biggest Jewish content creator. All right, like, get out of here with this shit, man. It was the Jews!
I want to get into these Democrats, like left-leaning-ish, that are sabotaging this.
Yeah, I love how the real reason for she's saying this slips through at the end and she reveals her true intentions. That she's politically brain rotted, right? She's like, oh my God, Hasan's a leftist. I gotta defend him. Like, shut the hell up. This is such an obvious controversy. Now, first off.
Yep, they're in a fucking death cult.
She said, spoil rotten. Kaya is living in the Citadel, maximum security prison, zapped for trying to sip water, and is apparently spoil rotten. I mean, give me a break, all right? Second off, nice backtracking. Aren't you the one who literally said you're choking her to Hasan? Choking. That was your words, okay? Now, people are theorizing that the reason Hasan had to put the collar so tight is so that the shocks actually are more effective and Kaya feels the pain even more, right? And even in the manual of the collar, you're not supposed to keep it that tight to the point where it's actually choking her. So Hasan is a sadistic freak who was zapping the shit out of his dog, it appears. Third off, what the heck is this cat lady fan club? Taylor Lorenz here is 41. Jennifer is apparently 52. This is a diabolical female gooning club. Oh my God. Both of them have said that Hasan is so hot and so handsome and oh my God, like, this is his fan base, bro. It is actually pathetic. You know, I really thought that male simps were pathetic, and they are, but female simps, it seemed to be another level, bro. Oh my God. This desperation is absolutely insane. This is, oh my God, bro. This is actually getting sad. She's walking back a genuine moment of just being a real person and calling out the tight collar all because she wants to F him. This is your brain on progressivism. Eat the rich, shock the dogs, and maybe Hasan will give you his micro pee-pee. How many times a month does Hasan blow these old pros backs out for them to be lying so blatantly for him? Dude, I have no idea, man. When I was there, she had free reign of the entire room. Yeah, because Hasan is going to shock the dog in front of you or anyone else. The entire point is that he's hiding.
Even if he did, they're still going to come out in defense and lie about it. Just saying. Like, I don't even think it really matters.
It from people. Jesus Christ, man. If they lie about this, how can anyone believe anything they say? You can't. Also, obviously, he's going to hide it from people.
And by the way, these people lie about anything. Especially Taylor Lorenz. We always talk about her being a journalist, even though she's a fucking liar. Constantly.
Him to be like beating his wife in front of everybody. Like, it's so brain dead. They're purposely ignorant. Didn't mean to say the collar was tight. It's actually a cult. Like, she specifically mentioned the 2-finger rule and everything. She said choking. Moving on to the ultimate gooning lord, Dan the Dynamic Diddler Clancy, in a legendary collab with Taylor Lorenz.
It's like every time. Why do they go to Taylor Lorenz every time? And it's like Dan Clancy, Hasan, the chick with the blonde hair. Why is it all connected? These are all the people in the same circle. Like, what the fuck?
Lorenz met up with Dan Clancy and asked about Twitch's safety post Emiru incident.
Go to somebody else. Why do you go to the Hasan Glazer journalist, fake journalist?
I'm sure we'll get the most hard-hitting journalism. By the way, context streamer Emiru was recently essayed at TwitchCon.
What are you guys doing to prioritize safety? Because I know also a bunch of Twitch content creators said that they were too scared to even come to TwitchCon this year, just in case something like what happened yesterday would happen.
The safety of our creators is the top priority. The
Okay, we already went over this.
challenge we face
Let's
is
get
a
through it.
challenge in today's society. It's not limited to Twitch. It extends throughout our society. I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways,
It doesn't matter if it extends to other places. It is on you, the CEO. It's your responsibility to get this shit taken care of. And just being like, oh, well, it happens, is bullshit.
you control your community and you can ban people.
You have to control your community. You have to ban people.
Can make it so that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't there. Okay, it's very...
Yeah, but what are you going to do about another content creator who is against somebody? Like, let's use an example. So Emiru bans people who are being violent sexual freaks. So what if they go into Hasan's chat and they're being a silent or a violent sexual freak about Emiru and he doesn't ban them? Is that still on Emiru? She should have got into Hasan's chat and banned that person. Like, give me a fucking break, dude.
Different, when I use other short form content and people say all sorts of stuff, well, I can't stop that. But when I live stream, they basically don't bother me. Now, what happened yesterday obviously was something that we care deeply about securing.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, you care deeply about it?
In this environment, we're looking very closely at everything that happened there, and I care deeply about Emmy. She's a friend
30-day ban.
of mine. And
no, she's not. You lying sack of shit.
So I want to see how we can support her.
She's a friend of mine? Shut the f up, you piece of shit. What a good friend, guys. He just lets her get S8 at an event. You force her...
You are her boss. You are these people's boss. Not friends. You are a CEO. They are streamers. You are not even allowed to be friends, actually. But it happens. He's friends with Hasan, best friends.
Do without providing any security and not even going to check on her after. Second off, did this scumbag just say control your community? So apparently it's Emiru's fault that some random regard decided to try and forcefully kiss her in front of everybody in public. Like, isn't this like victim blaming 101? How is Taylor not losing her mind over this? Or is she just happy to be in the presence of another Hasan dick rider?
Why should streamers trust Twitch to keep them safe at TwitchCon? Because I feel like simultaneously this has been such a secure event to the point that even like journalists have had struggled. Like, it is very secure. But here's this man that just walks up and is somehow able to bypass all these things.
Yeah, gonna secure the people who are supposed to be there from getting in, but the people who aren't supposed to be there are just, nothing's done about it. And it's actually the streamer's fault that she got assaulted.
So why should they trust the platform when slip-ups or, issues like this have happened?
The reality is...
And they keep happening, and guess what? It's going to get worse.
And as you do a lot in terms of security in today's world, there are challenges that can present themselves, especially when someone is putting themselves out there, right? And so...
Top streamer, by the way, millions upon millions of dollars every year that she brings in.
So, we try to work very closely with each creator about what they want to do and what...
You banned her security guard. What the fuck are you talking about? You banned a security guard for doing his fucking job.
Works for them, right? So I don't want to get into any, specifics or details, but part of that is working with creators and, trying to find them. Right now, we're definitely, ramping it up to make sure creators know that we have the resources there to help them figure out what's right for them.
Very secure. Taylor really...
Dude, that was all PR speak, bro. It was corporate slop bullshit that he was spewing right there.
Just said very secure. Taylor, please fucking retire. Like, how does this person have a job? It's actually such a disgrace.
Because she is a freak among freaks. That's how she has a job. They're not going to go to real journalists. They have to go to the ones that are willing to lie for them.
to the job of journalism. And you know Dan specifically.
And by the way, she's wearing a mask. Why is she wearing a mask? Is she afraid that she's going to get COVID or something? Bro, this is 2025. We are entering 2026. Grow the fuck up.
Job. It's actually such a disgrace to the job of journalism. And you know Dan specifically just chose her for this because he knew that she's not going to press him at all. She's a fellow Hasan cockmuncher. It is absolutely annoying.
And leftist freak, not just. She likes to go after teenagers on Roblox without their parents knowing. She literally said this herself.
Bro, she's like the least credible person I've ever seen. She's like another cockroach. She won't go away. She's everywhere, man.
She wants to trans the kids. She's for child mutilation.
Oh my. I don't think the Twitch CEO is wrong. Many e-girls build communities that reinforce parasocial relationship. Buddy, that doesn't warrant someone actually essaying her in real life, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if she's got her tits out and she's doing actual prostitution. She does not deserve to be assaulted like that.
What the heck? Tectone responds, 0 accountability, infinite excuses. Dan, your own staff did nothing. They laughed about it afterwards. You banned Emmy's only good security guard. This could have been much worse and none of your staff did shit. You were a joke.
Oh, no, they actually did something. They laughed at her. They laughed about it.
I don't think he knows how streaming works. How are you going to ban a lurker? What about the people who makes hundreds of accounts? How do you control a community when you have 10k people watching you? Isn't Twitch a community? Maybe he should control his community. Amy and I are good friends. Yeah, not after tonight. Why is she wearing a mask? Does he stink? He looks like he stinks, probably.
Dude, I cannot wait until he brings up Destiny, because actually, Destiny said something crazy that I agree with, and that doesn't happen very often.
Bert took 0 accountability and deflected everything. He's using the Hasan method. Could have won some goodwill by accepting responsibility and offering some actionables on how he will keep everyone safe. His only actionable is how to goon properly. He'll teach you the exact mechanism. Within 143, there's a jarring cut. They shot this at least twice, edited his answer, and used post-processing tools to smooth over his voice. He must have given a terrible answer. Taylor is not a journalist, but a propagandist. Okay, I don't know if this is true, but I would expect that from Taylor. How can anyone take this journalist seriously when she's acting like we're mid-pandemic years later? Something seriously mentally wrong with her? To be fair, I would let her off on this one because imagine she's at like Dan Clancy's house, bro. You just know that place. That place.
I bet he smells, and she was like, I need to put this on, man. He smells like old semen.
Diabolical smell. Moving on to Hasan spinning his wheel of daily crash out, and this time, ding ding ding, it landed on Ethan Klein. Hasan goes off on Ethan Klein, says that he's washed and irrelevant.
I wish you got this angry at Ethan Klein. Why the fuck would I get this angry at Ethan Klein? Ethan Klein is irrelevant. Of course I'm gonna get this angry at people who present themselves as leftists in my fucking community.
Dude, his community is so cooked. They're either against him or they're completely against all the people that talk about him. Like, what is happening here? They have Ethan Klein derangement syndrome. Really, it's just Jewish derangement syndrome. They just hate all Jews. They're Jews! These people are either like there to pay him to shit all over them, because they're not going to ban them if they're paying in, or they're just going to be there and they're going to glaze them and hate the Jews, even when Hasan doesn't really want to talk about it. But he did bring it up. He didn't have to bring up the chatter. Ethan Klein is irrelevant. Okay, then why are you bringing him up? It's smoke. He's blowing smoke. It's bullshit.
And use every waking moment being annoying. I expect better from long-term community members.
Oh, yeah? Oh, you do? Your entire community is brain rotted. Like, what are you talking about? You did this to yourself.
Ethan Klein is washed and irrelevant. Who gives a fuck about Ethan Klein? He's literally, he has lit his...
As he goes on a rant about Ethan Klein.
Own goddamn career on fire because he wanted to defend a genocide for 2 fucking years. And now is actively trying to change that image to the best of his ability by being like, I actually didn't spend the last 2 years defending genocide.
He didn't. He literally came out against Hamas. That's the problem there. He came out against a terrorist organization. He's made it very clear multiple times over these past couple years that he is for Palestinians against Hamas. But these people don't care about Palestinians. That's why as soon as there was a Trump peace deal, they completely shut the fuck up. Even though Hamas was killing Palestinians. Now, they didn't want to talk about that because we all know what they're actually about. They're not for Palestinians. They're for terrorism.
Everyone was lying about it. Who gives a what that lunatic has to say?
Back at it again with the Diddy Piker laugh, the chain smoker laugh, the brothel enjoyer laugh, the fucking dog zapper laugh right there. At least this time, there's no saliva gurgling and, you know, him choking on his own saliva. Like when
like seriously, who laughs like that? That's obviously a fucking insufferable piece of garbage laugh. Like, who does that? No normal person does that.
he was watching the cage fight he set up, right? This was not that funny, guys, it seems.
See?
Now, Hasan keeps doing this thing. He keeps saying that Ethan is irrelevant, which is just not true. He's still a massive streamer, massive creator. He's pretty popular. I think they honestly have similar view counts. Hasan might be maybe slightly more popular in streaming numbers, but I'd still put Ethan at the same level as him. Who honestly cares? And I feel like this guy needs to stop fucking talking about views and shit. My videos shitting on him get more views than his own channel. It's actually embarrassing. You're the biggest leftist streamer, and you can't get more views than a slop tuber, bro. Let alone like Asmongold. This guy will never say the shit to Asmongold because he gets blown out of the fucking water. Also, he never said the shit about Charlie either because obviously you can't compare, but instead Charlie's just a Redditor who's afraid of planes, so you don't get to listen to his opinion at all, right? It's just the most baby, whiny, bullshit ass excuses he can use to discredit anyone, right? Oh, I'm not listening to Ethan, he's irrelevant or whatever, right? Back to the cell, cockroach Hasan. You can brag about your views from prison. He's so irrelevant that less than a month ago, you were asking him to drop the lawsuits against these three dipshits, and we got Denims, Caseytron, and Froggen. That's supposed to be Froggen, it seems.
That's pretty
Ethan
good.
gets around the
Pretty good depiction. I don't think that it's nearly thick enough.
same viewers as Hasan, right? Don't ask him the facts. That is, he is allergic. He's gonna get a rash. Moving on to Dr. K cooking Hasan. Keep in mind, this guy's like the most neutral guy ever. He really tries to avoid drama. And
He's irrelevant too. All these people, they're irrelevant.
even he had to mention this. Dr. K reveals that a number of content creators he's worked with have told him they are really scared of Hasan's community.
Yeah, how about that? How about that? I'm not scared of their community. They come into my hate comments all the time. I mean, my comments to hate, which are mostly just hate comments at this point. Oh, well, I'm going to still create this kind of content because fuck you.
Interesting. Why would this be the case? Hasan is the purveyor of goodness. Why? Wow.
There's a lot of pent up stuff, I think, that's specifically towards Hasan. So I know, for example, that, and I'm not saying this is true or not true, I'm just saying that with the creators that I've worked with, one of the things that there are a handful of communities that they're really scared of, and Hasan's is one of them. I'm not saying that that's justified or not justified. I'm not saying it's true or not true, but just for whatever reason, right? And when people say, I'll ask them like, why, right? What concerns you about? And I think it has something to do with his size, his rigidity, and the tribalism of his community, right? There's an us versus them.
Yeah, let me say it to you in more clear terms. Since Dr. K has to walk about 50 lines here because he works with a bunch of streamers and his reputation to uphold as, you know, unbiased and stuff like that. Hasan's community is a fucking unhinged psychopath.
I kind of can understand people like Dr. K. At least he's not for Hasan. He's being neutral, and when you're being a neutral person and you're wanting to interview people, like, you kind of have to be neutral and not completely shit on them and be against them to get really good, valid information that the world needs to hear. Like, I can understand it. It fucking sucks to be in that position. I have a lot of respect for people who can remain neutral because I can't do it, man. I just can't.
terrorist supporting cult. They are radical extremist freaks who cheer on the death of innocent people. There we go. And they harass and send a million threats to anyone who dares criticize them. That's the real version of events. Okay, that's what he's trying to say basically, right? We had that girl, even a Hasan subscriber, who dared to speak out against him and got grape and unalive threats. Tectone has called out Hasan. Hasan is currently bringing his dog to one of the most chaotic, unsafe environments live on stream, an active fucking protest.
Dude, these people, these leftist freaks, these leftoids, always bring babies to protests that it, like, why? And riots. Why? And if you didn't think that this was going to be dangerous, why are you wearing a bulletproof vest? And then you're just putting press over it, I guess, to feel cool. Nobody else does this. Why? The fuck is the whole point? It's narcissism. It's to feel cool, so he can think he's cool and look in the mirror and be like, yes. And he sees pictures of himself and he's like, look at that sexy motherfucker.
Guys, what are we doing? And we got a picture of Hasan at the protest with his dog, and he got like a press vest on. Oh my god, dude. It's so dangerous he thought he needed a bulletproof vest. Better bring my defenseless pet / prop. He's actually such a piece of shit. Wasn't Hasan literally the guy who was crying that he was shot at one of these protests and he was like, oh my god, the government is out to get me? I mean, dude, if you actually thought that, you would never be bringing your dog out there. Dude, I had like a sinister thought right now. What if Hasan actually wants his dog to get hurt or shot so that
he does. That's not really a sinister thought. That is exactly what's running in the back of his mind. Because if his dog gets killed, then he can blame it on the right wing or the Jews or both and get internet points.
He can cry that his haters hate him so much that they actually went after his dog. I mean, that legitimately feels like something this psychopathic freak would do, use his dog to actually win political points. This is the equivalent of bringing your baby to a protest, right? Why would you even do that? You're putting them in harm's way. Dude, it's so disgusting. You're making the situation so much worse, and you quite clearly do not care about this dog. Anyways, is going after Tectone again, puts the blame on Tectone and similar content creators for the fall off of TwitchCon. So it's Tectone's fault.
The cloud chasing was still controlled through this social mechanism, this social enforcement. Like, I do not think that there would be a tone style content creator back then, or if there was, I don't think that they would have had any, like, everyone would be like, no, that's fucking bullshit. Like, every content creator would in unison come out and be like, dude, you are fucking gross, get the fuck out of here. Nowadays there is like an environment for that. Nowadays there's an audience for that. I think played a role in this. It made it so that I mean, people make a lot more money now too. Yeah, it's become this weird like fucked up reality TV style situation. Twitch used to ban partners for harassing other partners. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, they used to do that, but they don't anymore because you'd be banned for calling Tectone a rapist when there is no conviction for one, and also there's no proof. So get out of here with that. That's actually a good point. I forgot. Twitch used to literally ban partners for harassing other partners. Can you?
If they still did that, you would be banned, dude, because you defame everybody constantly.
Imagine? Can you imagine that right now? Think about that. That would be like 90% of top content creators would be banned off the fucking platform if that was still enforced to any degree.
Almost like Twitch changed the rules for you, Hasan, or they just have the same rules but don't enforce it just for you. If that was actually the case, all of your orbiters would be banned because
they do still have the rules, by the way. They just don't enforce them. They only choose who they enforce it against, like Tectone.
You have all threatened to kill people.
You can call Tectone a rapist all you want, but if Tectone comes out and calls a fat bitch fat, or calls a bitch, or a whore, then he gets banned. It makes no sense.
Bounties on them in real life, make them bleed from the mouth, and a number of other things. You should not have a platform you are violent freaks. Also, what is this guy's deal with Tectone? I mean, he's still calling him Grape Tone. It's like he's just slandering people with zero repercussions over and over and over again. Tectone doesn't even do much right now. All he does is tweet and maybe occasionally post like a video. I feel like he should be more mad at other people, but I feel like he just thinks it's like an easy win. He can just say Grape Tone and his entire chat starts clapping like seals or something. So that's why he constantly picks on Tectone, but it's just so cowardly, honestly. Twitch used to ban partners for harassing other partners, immediately slanders Tectone with no evidence.
Yeah, right.
Smears everyone as the worst possible buzzword he can possibly find. Why does nobody believe me anymore? Anyways, Asmon responds, thinks that Colorgate is Hasan's karma for slandering people.
He's been having a bad time. Hasan has been having a very, very bad time. I mean, he shouldn't have. The thing is that it is, I mean, to a degree, I mean, he has spread so many lies about people. He has been complicit in misrepresenting people so many times. And now it's finally happening to you, at least in your eyes, it's happening to you. And this is, imagine how other people feel when this happens to them, whenever you do it to them. Like, really, I mean, it's karma in a way. And like, honestly, like, you know, whenever it happens to somebody, I'm the most empathetic streamer. Everybody knows this, but, you know, I can feel bad for him on a personal level, but on like a, you know, like a larger scale, I can be like, well, this is what happens whenever you do that shit, man.
Yep.
That's what happens. It is.
Yep. Whenever you got the devil speaking to you on your shoulder, then you're gonna get the devil. Like that's what you get back what you put out, man. You receive what you give.
Thank you. Actual karma would be this guy in prison. Okay, this is nothing. He's just melting down because he's a crybaby and his 40-month subs don't like him, right? He's still mistreating his dog like a psychopath and getting away with it. Moving on to Asmon warning Hasan that he's going to get sued, and this is after Hasan called Tectone a generational grapist. Asmon offers Hasan honest advice on how he calls out his enemies, says he's too big and too aware to keep doing that.
He doesn't have the same energy for people that he knows.
Because they weren't convicted, and you shouldn't be calling them as if they did the things that they're being accused of. Hasan needs to watch out by saying this random stuff and going off and coming up with these names about people and saying this stuff, because eventually you're going to run yourself into a defamation lawsuit. And it doesn't matter how many Twitter orbiters you have and how many people you ban in chat. Whenever you're sitting there in the courtroom being accused of defamation or lying about somebody, it's not going to matter whether there's a genocide going on. It's not going to matter whether, you know, what his dad did. It's not going to matter any of these other bullshit accusations. If you keep doing this and saying this stuff about people, eventually you're going to run into a problem legally. I think it's obvious, and he should know that.
And I'm surprised he hasn't run into these problems yet. Are we going to talk about Destiny? If not, then I'm going to have to pull it up.
Hasan is honestly so lucky that he hasn't been sued by now. It's probably because he has millions of dollars and a lawsuit would be extremely time consuming and annoying, right? Like CoffeeZilla versus Logan is still going on for like years now, right? And despite the fact that CoffeeZilla actually does have money, Logan just has way more money. It's more annoying to do, right? But yeah, I'm almost certain he can be cooked for a variety of things.
And Logan Paul isn't even in the social media spaces anymore. Nobody cares about him. Now he has become irrelevant, and now he's just a random rich guy, piece of shit, garbage person who gets shit on every time he enters the social media spaces.
It's just nobody has decided to do it. Maybe it's going to be Ethan, maybe it's going to be Tectone, maybe it's going to be somebody entirely different. Maybe,
or like 20 to 30 people at the same time. I think that's what everybody's waiting for. I think once one person comes out and sues him, and it's just gonna, the dominoes are gonna fall.
Be a bunch of like random Twitch viewers or something like that. You never know what's gonna happen, but
even the government.
We'll see. But as the resident future predictor, this man will get what's coming. Okay, it's only a matter of time. Moving on to Destiny, crashing out at Hasan, goes off on Hasan being a nepo baby.
I hate my life. I hate fucking streaming. I hate socialism. I hate every single fucking person who thinks that the peak of activism is just being the most annoying, holier than thou.
I also hate how this stupid motherfucker, his entire life, he's the most nepo baby piece of shit in the fucking universe, the most spoiled, rotten motherfucker. Rich parents that came from rich families that gave birth to a rich little nepo son. And being rich wasn't even enough. It wasn't even that he was a rich, spoiled little piece of shit who just like had money his whole life. Then he nepoed his way into another industry that another family member was established in, had the largest fucking alternative left media network. And then he nepoed his way all through Twitch, through me. If this guy had to deal with an ounce of adversity his entire fucking life, he can't even handle a little bit of fucking balding without going on 7 different fucking drugs for 7 years.
Fuck, I didn't hear that part. That's crazy. I say that a lot.
It's unbelievable. Jesus. If this guy had to deal with like a fraction of what any ordinary human being or
Hasan Balder.
Somebody actually trying to climb their way through success of this industry without having a fucking handout from every single part.
Man, I wish I could get a handout. I'm really clawing my way through the bottom
of the establishment doing it. It's unbelievable.
The most ultimately woke leftist is just, you did it. You did it. You have unlocked the fucking nihilism within me, okay?
The nihilism is when I can't electrocute my fucking dog over and over and over again to keep her in the corner of my fucking stream because I'm too fucking lazy to either have a house appropriate for her, which is not gonna walk around and eat shit, or because I just want it to look good.
Hey, look, guys, this is my favorite show.
He absolutely cooked Hasan, and everybody hates Destiny. And I think people hate Hasan even more than Destiny, which is fucking crazy. That people hate Hasan more than Sex Pestiny.
Regards fighting. But yeah, honestly, Hasan has never struggled for anything in his life ever. Entire life handed to him.
Well, he's struggling now.
And he's still complaining because people don't want him to zap his dog.
Yep.
He's an unreal person, dude.
Wah! That's all I hear from him. Wah!
But I feel like Hasan and Destiny are secretly lovers, right? True justice would be making the meme real. Cockroach Hasan and Soycock Destiny in the same cell together forever. Has Hasan ever achieved anything himself in his life? No. Now,
got him. Fuck. Woo! He achieved shocking his dog. That worked out right. Haha. Make sure you go down there into the comments and you click that PayPal link and you donate to me. Donate to the Folly Farm. That'd be amazing. I'd love you forever, man.
Ah, yes. The original Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I remember you well. Those are definitely PS2 era graphics, but those characters, they don't look half bad. And, oh, what in the androgynous is...
Bro, we're in 2025. What is this? What? We're about to be in 2026.
This supposed to be? Would it really be so hard to give the female character some calcium cannons?
Which one's the female? What are we doing here?
I remember when games were supposed to be fun and not some kind of a political statement.
Like, I can't tell who's supposed to be male and who's supposed to be female.
God damn it, I'm not fat. I'm just shamed for my body in a world where white men decide what's beautiful.
What's up, Space Pirates? This is your Admiral, the heroically humble Dr. Disaster. And when a game comes out which appeals to the progressive sensibilities of game journalists, you can expect the reviews for the game to be pretty sterling, because these activists will want that game to succeed. They look at that kind of shit and go,
"Hello, beautiful."
As an example, look at Dragon Age the Veilguard. That was...
At least you can tell who's male and who's female in this. Well, generally speaking.
One of the most blatantly woke games in the history of the industry, and gamers despised it, but game journalists tried to prop it up. This here is the Metacritic score for Dragon Age.
I bet the Vampire Bloodlines score is like the same. What do you want to bet? I haven't seen it yet.
Game journalists gave it an 82 out of 100, but gamers smashed it to pieces with a 3.9 out of 10. Suffice to say, the so-called professional critics have no problem saying positive things about a game that's
She said, wait
pretty
for it.
universally despised,
I am.
as long as it fits their agenda.
What? I love garbage.
Well, with that in mind, you have to ask yourself, what does a game have to do in order to get an actual bad score from these professional reviewers? And the answer is, you have to be an actually completely unplayable piece of shit, like Concord here. That game was given a 62 out of 100, and
How? How was it given a 62? I still don't understand that. Like, there are games that I'll play that are 6 out of 10. Usually they're old games.
Pretty much everybody agreed Concord is in the conversation for the worst game ever made. And now take a look at Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. That game was scored only 2 points higher than Concord thus far.
I was wrong.
The game journalists looked at this turd and said,
That's hideous.
on the one hand, with all of the issues that they had with the development cycle of this game, you might say it's practically a miracle that Bloodlines 2 was...
Is this Bloodlines 2? Is that the gameplay we're seeing? Because this looks worse than Dishonored, and it's like basically trying to do the same thing. And Dishonored came out in like, what, 2012? What the fuck are we doing here?
Even finished. But for anyone with eyeballs, it's not a miracle, it's a damn curse. It's crazy to look at the design of Bloodlines 2 and see how, in just a couple decades, the aesthetic went from obviously attractive to androgynous lumps of poo. You've just got to throw your hands up in the air and wonder what in the hell happened to our culture.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
Sure, Jan.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe.
Dude, even when they try and make characters look manly, they're gay. This character is obviously gay.
Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. I've had a lot of people tell me that they've been unwillingly unsubscribed to the channel, so make sure you look into that, and also, give me a follow over on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster1, and if you feel like supporting the channel and helping keep the lights on, consider becoming a member for as little as $5 per month. Anyways, let's take a look at what the review...
Hold on, did you see that? Always happy to talk and to learn.
For as little as $5 per month. Anyways, let's take a look at what the reviewers are saying about Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. The short answer is, it doesn't look good, not good at all.
Are you saving the score from... Oh, God.
But for the long answer, let's actually take a look at some of these reviews from the critics. If it isn't apparent already, based on what I have seen and read about this game, I am not recommending that anyone play it, but in the...
Don't give them money.
interest of fairness, we're going to look at what everyone had to say, and we will start with the higher review scores of the game. The highest that anyone has scored Bloodlines 2 so far is an 80 out of 100. The outlet Metro Game Central wrote here, in gameplay terms, it has little to do with the original Bloodlines, and it's not really a role-playing game either, but this is an enjoyable and atmospheric action-adventure that stands on its merits. And I've got to point out that when I covered this game before in previous videos, talking about how actually the gameplay that I had seen and the descriptions that I had heard made it seem like Bloodlines 2 wasn't much of an RPG at all, since you can't really create your own character, you can't really make any choices. When I pointed that out, there were a lot of bugs.
So it's a worse Dishonored 2.
Hurt people in
or
my
Dishonored
comment section getting all pissy, telling me I didn't know what I was talking about, and that actually this game looked like a perfect sequel to the first one. Well, where are you guys at now?
Who's asking for this game, by the way? Nobody? Nobody.
One of the outlets who liked this game the most agrees with me, so what do you have to say about that, my dudes? Anyhow, here is another one of the higher review scores for the game. This comes from Spazio Games, and it says...
it says it takes risks. Why are you saying that? It looks like every other woke bullshit game out there. What are you talking about? These people are so cooked, man.
In an industry dominated...
Do not listen to reviewers. Do not. Don't listen to game journalists. Watch YouTubers. They will tell you what's really going on.
By safe, risk-free productions, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is a bold game. Even in its failures, the Chinese Room has created an ambitious work, perhaps too ambitious for its own...
They actually gave it a 68, but gave it 10 extra points for DEI. They got that extra point for DEI.
Means, yet one capable of leaving a mark. It's not the sequel many dreamed of, but perhaps it's one this dark world truly deserved, a flawed title, yet brimming with personality and vision.
Basically what this is saying is, I like the way it looks.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but when a game comes out and one of the highest scores given to it uses the words failures and flawed in order to describe that game, that sets off about every alarm bell that there is.
It looks like a 2012 game, but with boosted graphics using AI. And by the way, no tits? This is obviously a female, isn't it?
In my head. Anyways, here is another review from one of the outlets which gave Bloodlines 2 one of its highest scores. PlayStation Universe said, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 might not be the sequel that folk from 2004 wanted for their game, but it is the game we've got.
This is like the same rhetoric for Dragon Age Veilguard. I can see why he's comparing it to it so much.
Though largely sparse open world and technical issues are hardly encouraging, the beautifully evocative interior environments, surprisingly engaging traversal and combat mechanics, together with its neatly unconventional buddy movie conceit, which sees two vampires attempting to inhabit the same body and each with their own motivations, makes Vampire...
It's Two-Spirit! The main character is Two-Spirit!
The Masquerade Bloodlines 2 a good deal more intriguing than I originally expected it to be. Once again, it's a bad sign when one of the best reviews starts off by saying it might not be what you wanted, but it's what we got. That isn't exactly a sterling endorsement. But let's now get into the fun stuff. Let's look at the reviewers who are not so nice toward this game so that we can get a well-rounded idea of what is about to be released. This score here comes from Games Radar, and keep in mind that Games Radar is an outlet that generally has the so-called correct views.
So this is a 20, but with 10 DEI points.
Always kiss the asses of these game studios, but they scored this game a 30 out of 100, the worst score that the game has received. And they wrote here, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is the definition of a crying shame. Clumsy writing and flat, repetitive world design expose a handful of good ideas that never take root, while its poor technical quality and unstable performance will render it unplayable for some. The result is a half-baked, blunt-toothed, action mystery hybrid that disappoints at almost every turn, struggling to leave even the ghost of a good impression. And then here is Push Square, another outlet who generally gobbles down anything that comes out on the PlayStation without questioning it. They gave the game a 40 and wrote, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is a shambles. Its best qualities are always short-lived, buried deep beneath the frustrations of non-existent RPG elements, extreme padding, and diabolical technical issues. Beyond the promise of its opening hours, this is a tragic misfire of a game, and yeah, that sounds like something to avoid the hell out of. An RPG without RPG elements, forcing us to play as androgynous blobs of nondescript nothingness, is just a piss-poor idea. But here is one last review from The Gamer. And as many of you likely recall, The Gamer is an outlet that I have recently begun calling one of the worst mainstream media outlets around, because they are always kissing the asses of all the games that come out in order to make sure that they keep getting access to these big studios, but even they scored this game only a 50 out of 100. They said of the game, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is the epitome of wasted potential. It's one of the most beloved TTRPG franchises of all time, and the original game has become a cult classic over the years. This isn't the sequel we hoped for, wanted, or even expected. It's Vampire the Masquerade in name only, and that is pretty damning. If not even the gamer is on your side, even though you've made a game that exhibits progressive aesthetics, then you know that you've messed up. Based on everything I have seen and heard, I personally cannot recommend hard enough that you avoid this game, that you don't waste your money on Bloodlines 2. But I'm gonna leave it there. Drop your thoughts on
Bro, I love Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines, the original one. I love it so much. What happened, man? I can tell you what happened. DEI happened. It happens every time. But at least we got some good news. Visa and MasterCard lose massive lawsuit. I don't know what this is about, so let's check it out from SmashJT. All right,
this
let's
comes
go.
to us from Z Karishi, and they are over in Japan. They say,
oh, $200 million. Oh, man, that's bad.
Visa and MasterCard agreed to a massive, near $200 million settlement in a lawsuit filed by merchants alleging antitrust violations.
Yeah, because they were actively trying to change Japan's culture, and Japan don't like that shit.
The lawsuit alleges that card brands' uniform changes to their policies regarding how they handle chargebacks, losses resulting from unauthorized transactions or fraud, forced merchants to incur unjustifiable expenses.
Damn, this is not at all what I thought it was going to be for. Holy shit, I thought it was going to be for like trying to change culture. But maybe this was just the out that they had. This is how they get to Visa and MasterCard to make them stop doing shit.
Defendants, Discover and American Express, previously agreed to pay a combined $32.2 million to resolve merchant claims against them. These issues are only part of the unreasonable behavior perpetrated by the international card brands, backed by their overwhelming market share. The recent issue of card company censorship, which threatens content culture, particularly manga, anime, and games.
So this was partially due to that. Okay.
Is also a result of their overwhelmingly advantageous position. In Japan, the government must take proactive action to prevent these companies from monopolizing their businesses and ensure fair trade for consumers.
Yep. And they do this weird thing where they force companies to hire certain people that are for them. And also, they really put pressure on governments to put people in the government that will allow them to do the things that they want to do.
I will continue to urge them to do so. And I do believe this guy is somewhat part affiliated with the Japanese diet. I'm not necessarily sure how connected he is, but it is something that is definitely near and dear to his heart over in Japan. Savvy quote tweets and says, before people start thinking this is significant, I have to do my usual bearer of bad news bears party pooping. Last year, MasterCard and Visa, this was prior to their ridiculous rule changes and attacking Steam and other platforms in Japan, reached a $30 billion payout over settlements over fees. Some of the cases starting back in 2005.
Damn.
And a year prior to
that, they've been trying to change culture around the world for a very long time.
They had a $5.6 billion settlement. Holy shit.
Yeah, they don't care. The people who are at these companies don't care because it doesn't actually affect their dollar. What they'll do if it does affect their dollar, they'll just lay off people and take bigger bonuses.
How much money do these card companies have when they settle, it feels like annually? in the multi-billions of dollars just to settle to make them go away. Holy shit. Visa and MasterCard will not stop.
Actually, that's the price that they pay in order to tighten their grip. They settle so they don't lose. So they're not actually losing. They get to keep doing what they're doing.
Up being pieces of crap, violating antitrust. No government will actually do anything. No one will ever be arrested. And this is the world we live in.
And it's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. People need to stop using these payment processors. Like, actually, not even just really people. I think it's companies. Companies need to find a different way.
She's absolutely right, by the way. Year after year, settlement after settlement, nothing ever changes.
Damn, it's almost like we all know exactly what's going on here. I didn't even read that, and I knew what was happening.
Shows the MasterCard Visa reach a $30 billion settlement over credit card fees.
Really, all they're doing is just paying $30 billion so they can keep doing what they're doing. That's it.
And this is March 2024. $30 billion with a B.
Damn, I thought this was going to be good news. It's just more of the same shit.
March 2023, a year before, Visa MasterCard 5.6 billion with a B settlement with retailers is upheld. so yeah, this one with 200 million is literally pissing in the ocean for them, which is wild. And Zikarishi writes back, sadly, despite the criticism of many consumers, the Japan Fair Trade Commission is not taking any action.
I wonder who Visa and MasterCard is paying to have in the government. Most likely way, way more than what they're actually getting paid by the government. Because I'm pretty sure they have a cap to how much you get paid in Japan. But if you're an international person, it doesn't matter what you make in Japan. You can make money elsewhere. Even if the Japanese government doesn't know about it, or even if they do, what are they going to do about it? Nothing. Because no government ever does anything.
Political power is also needed to close the gap between reality and the law and its implementation.
Yeah, but when they can pay more than governments do, then they're just fucked.
Which sounds great when you make a tweet saying, go, go, rah, rah. The problem comes in with a company that has more money than you could possibly imagine. Think
more money than over half the governments, probably combined.
Breaking Bad with the fat black guy laying down on the money. Think that like times a million. That's Visa and MasterCard. They have all the money in the world. Anytime anyone questions or challenges,
even if they don't have the money directly themselves, they have control of it. They have control of everyone's money.
Challenges them, they just would allegedly, most likely, find a way to grease their pockets and make it go away. Let's be honest. When you have that kind of money, you have that kind of power and influence. Savvy replied, I think the issue is governments are too scared to do anything to risk destabilizing the world.
Yeah, it's definitely like 5% of it. I think most of the problem is the people that are in the governments are in talks. They're shaking hands with Visa and MasterCard and other cardholders.
Which is another great point. On top of what I just said, that's a banger. How will they be able to insider trade if their money networks go down?
Right? It's all a bunch of criminalization. Like, that's pretty much everybody that wants to get involved in government and do get involved in government. It's because they want power. They want power to be able to do things that they want to do. And if it's illegal, then they just will be able to find the ways to make it not illegal.
Firmly believe if this were any other service somehow doing what they have done, they would be shut down or broken up. But because it is this money tied to money, nothing will be done. And I can see it too. Imagine all the small businesses that rely on daily transactions of the largest card networks. It would be cruel to them, but the world is hurting, and I don't know what else to do.
Stop using them? I don't know, man. Like, even I have to use it because that's how I get paid.
What do you do if, by and large, every company utilizes Visa and MasterCard. It's literally what makes the world spin outside of gravity in the current situation we find ourselves in. They have gotten so big and so uncontrolled that you cannot stop them. Unconcerned Human says the FTC. Are you
What's going to happen, though, this is fucking insane to think about. What's going to happen is there's going to be a societal collapse. And the dominoes are going to fall. And it's not just going to be Visa and MasterCard. It's going to be so many other things happening at the same time. And they're just going to go down with it to make the collapse even worse. And it's coming. Especially when we go more and more digital. If you see the outages that just happened, like, bro, it's going to get worse. It's going to get so much worse. You don't even know. I don't even know. But I do know that it's basically going to be the end of the world. There's going to be such chaos, dude. It's already happened so many times on smaller scales, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
So incompetent, they have to call out the powerful people or other monopolies to yell at you before they will listen. Clearly, the FTC is a myth and a farce. FTC does not care and will never do anything. Wolfstar said, I'm doing some digging. They have been slowly implementing DEI. It has not been slow, by the way. I've covered, it has been rapid and it's scary. Severy replies, slowly? Laugh my ass off, homie. They straight up pay for so many American-style pride things all around the world, have pushed it through their rules, and their hiring managers are all DEI, which exactly. Maybe it's just initial surface level where you run into the DEI, but yes, it is bad. Anyways, I did a little bit more digging on this situation.
This is so big, and I can't believe that Trump isn't talking about this. I can't believe that the Trump admin isn't talking about this. How crazy. That's so crazy. The billionaires aren't going to talk about this.
Because while it is pissing in the ocean for them, it is still something. It's something. This is from Reuters. They said Visa, MasterCard agree to the $199.5 million settlement in merchants class action. This is from October 13th, 2025. They said they've agreed to pay a combined $200 million to settle a near decade-old class action that accused them of forcing merchants to swallow some of the costs of fraudulent transactions involving counterfeit, lost, or stolen cards. Think about that for a second.
That's like Twitch blaming the content creators for how bad the Twitch platform is. You have to moderate your own community. Even though you're forced to be part of our community.
That these companies, Visa and MasterCard, are so big that they could throw their weight around, at least for a decade or so, and make merchants take on some of that cost without any kind of recourse. Finally, after a decade or so, it comes back to bite them for the tune of a paltry $200 million. In the grand scheme of a decade for Visa and MasterCard, it literally is pissing in the ocean. That is literally the same thing for how much money that is, for what they've made in that amount of time. The proposed settlement was filed on Friday in the federal court in Brooklyn and requires approval from Chief U.S. District Judge Margot Brody.
Where have I heard that name before?
Holy shit. That's my judge.
It's crazy. Damn.
Whoa. Full stop. I saw Brooklyn. I was like, oh, funny. I'm getting sued in Brooklyn. Oh, Margot K. Brody, the Honorable Obama appointed Judge Margot K. Brody. Whoa, buddy.
Yeah, so this ain't shit. This ain't shit.
Holy shit. My goodness. If I ever do meet Margot, I'll have to ask her about this situation. Wow. That's like a full stop. Holy crap. Is that good or bad? Says Stash My Ash. I don't know. I think it's just neutral. But that is That is definitely something. Wow. Wow. Small world indeed. Holy shit. Whoa, buddy. Anyways, merchants first sued the payment networks in 2016.
Yeah, that was like when things really started getting bad with the whole DEI shit. We started seeing it coming 2014 through 2016. In 2016, it started ramping up. And then all the way through COVID, I kind of think that they had something to do with COVID. But that's neither here nor there.
This is
at least for the lockdowns and like all of the rhetoric and everything that the news corporations were saying and everything that the corporations in general were saying. And they were definitely behind shutting down a lot of businesses, and they were behind essential services being the only things not shut down, like giant corporations.
Literally a couple months away from a decade, alleging they violated antitrust law by moving in lockstep to change rules on chargebacks, which are reverse payments triggered by customer disputes. The shift exposed businesses to greater costs without any reduction in transaction fees. Under the new framework, merchants became liable for chargebacks if they had not upgraded point-of-sale systems to accept chip-enabled cards. Visa said it will pay $119.7 million. MasterCard will pay almost $80 million, according to the settlement. Two other defendants, Discover and American Express, agreed earlier to pay a combined $32.2 million.
What do you do when literally all of the payment processors are just the same thing? Like, they're all shaking hands, they all do the same stuff. What do you call that? You call that a trust! Oh, I was wrong. What is a trust? Hold on, what is a trust? I think I was told wrong about this. Okay, they are a trust also. Okay, they are actually a trust. But this says, when a group of companies collude to engage in illegal or unethical practices such as fixing prices, dividing markets, or rigging bids, this behavior is known as a cartel. How about that? How about that? Payment processors are a fucking cartel.
This case right here proves that all these companies work together in coercion as a club to push forward with an agenda.
This literally a cartel. Literally a cartel. Holy shit, man. Trump needs to designate these as terrorist organizations.
And you are powerless as a consumer. This is literally the definition of a monopoly, where just a few companies and they all work together.
No, it's not. Nope, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's a cartel.
It's illegal what they're doing. And what they're being charged is a drop in the bucket. All four companies denied any wrongdoing. Why would you settle for $200+ million? Actually, if you include Discover and American Express, it's like $250 million. Why would you settle for that if you say that you did nothing wrong? Clearly you had some concerns that maybe they'd see it a different way. Because that's a lot of money to just settle on. In a statement, MasterCard said it welcomed the resolution and emphasized its efforts to promote adoption of advanced technology to protect MasterCard purchases at every step. Visa and attorneys for the merchants did not immediately respond for comment. In a court filing, plaintiffs' lawyers called the deal an excellent outcome for the class. They said the settlement represents about 13% of the plaintiff's best case damages estimate and more than 50% of a conservative benchmark provided by Visa and MasterCard's experts. So it sounds like Visa and MasterCard still making out pretty good here. They're only paying 13%.
Well, that's how settlements usually work.
So they're still making money in the grand scheme of it. This is less than a slap on a wrist. This is more like a pat on the ass, like, good work. Get out there, bro. Do it again. The proposed accord is separate from the $5 billion that Visa and MasterCard agreed to pay in 2019 to resolve merchant claims that they improperly fixed credit and debit card fees. Wow. The case is B&R Supermarket versus Visa. Plaintiffs, all these people, I don't know any of them.
Yeah, that's on purpose. Of course, you don't know who any of them are because they don't want you to know.
Visa have their own lawyers. MasterCard has their own team of lawyers. But yeah, that is the situation. That is wild. I am blown away that Mark.
And you shouldn't know. What the plaintiff? That's the people who are saying that Visa and MasterCard did wrong, right? Or no? No, I don't know. I don't know who those people are. I don't know much about court. I do know that this is a cartel because I looked it up, and they literally fit that definition.
Okay, Brody, that is wild. What a small world. Wow. And she's the judge of all judges to be handling this case. That's crazy. It really is a small world. But yeah, this is not relating to anything, to be clear, anything to do with what Visa and MasterCard were doing with Steam and itch.io or limiting purchases with Japanese manga or anything like that.
Well, no, because all of the people in the government are for all of that happening, even though it is actual cartel behavior.
But I would venture to guess, based off of this case itself, that took almost a decade to get through, that there's a case right now being built against them. And it will take another decade or so to get to any kind of resolution for this right now. I wouldn't be surprised. But it just goes to
by that time, there will be some worse shit going on. And then all of this doesn't even matter. And they're going to be a multi-trillion-dollar company by then. Who knows? Maybe quadrillion. We don't know what it's going to be like in a decade. Because a decade ago, we didn't have trillion-dollar companies.
show with case after case after case of them settling for hundreds of millions of dollars into the multiple billions of dollars, that these companies are straight up fraudulent companies that cannot be trusted and will fuck you over every chance they get, every single year. That's crazy.
Yep. I'm absolutely fucking done with all of this nonsense. Like, it's so totally done. And who knows, maybe that's what they want. They want people to be out and just not buy things anymore and only buy things that they approve of. I don't know, man. Pretty soon they're going to be like, we don't want you to buy that kind of food because that has nothing to do with us. You are only allowed to buy the food that we approve of. So let's move on to the Pokemon news, shall we? Apparently, there's the usual suspects glazing Pokemon Legends Z to A, whatever you call it. It's a really stupid name. And all of the regular people fucking hate it. And I know a bunch of regular people who bought it anyway and say that it's trash. And they're still playing it. Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with people? This is why the gaming industry is so shit. Well, it could be worse. Well, it's gonna be worse if you keep allowing this to happen. That's just the world that we live in today. Go fuck yourself. I'll live in yesterday.
Pokemon. So I keep seeing this game, man. It is insane.
Choose from one of 8 iconic characters. This guy, they just flipped his picture around.
It's the same person. It's just the same person every time.
Yeah, they're Miis. Remember the Wii? How all of them just kind of looked the same?
This one's got black hair, then they flipped him around the other way, and they said, oh, now he's got this color hair. We cannot allow more disturbances in Wait, they still don't have voice acting in Pokemon? This is the top-selling RPG.
You don't want voice acting in Pokemon. You don't want it.
RPG franchise of all time. Grandia.
It's embarrassing.
On Dreamcast had voice acting.
Here, take your money.
Okay, we have
and it's good too.
Posters, unique poster technology.
Wow.
So far, these posters are unique. Graphics are slightly reminiscent of Pale Land.
Powland, I've heard of that game. Can you jump off?
Okay, we have a sound effect on the grass. Okay, we got some character popping in and like.
Oh god, the Starmie just like popping in.
How much was the Switch 2? How much is the Switch 2? I know people who bought the Switch 2 just to play this game.
You're 3 feet away. Like, dude, Ironforge had a better draw distance on my dad's 2003 computer than this. This is insane.
Dude, Fable 2 has more heart and soul than this game does. That game came out on the 360 in like 2007.
Popping in and out.
Look at that.
I don't even think Powland had that, but overall,
it
this
didn't.
is a better looking game than Powland, okay?
No, you are lying, Donkey, and you know it. You are lying.
But I'm just saying that Powland didn't. I don't think Powland had pop in like that. What happened to your Pikachu? Uh-oh, wait a minute. I saw
that was
this
a
poster
slur.
already. I saw this one.
Wait.
Oh, wait a minute. That's right there. They reused it. I've got a hunch you're here to see some sights. Such
Oh
great
wow, that I
absence, man.
am.
You know what?
You got it. It's
What the fuck? This is like some Fallout 4 bullshit.
what kind of an option is this? Yes and yes.
Pokemon player I am. I gotta say, you got it.
You got it. You're just the type.
I'm looking
God.
for. Pokemon are mysterious and magnificent creatures. I like how that CEO thinks. Pokemon are mysterious and magnificent creatures.
You know what this looks like to me? You know what this looks like to me? Hang on. Oh, here we go.
Oh my god, I can't control this fucker. Ah! Ah! Oh my god!
Whoa, he gets like atomic rings around him when you do that.
You have to like crawl walk. No, stop going faster!
It looks like Virtua Cop.
It looks like the Isle of Delfino.
Only bad?
Like no, it looks
Dude,
like
pop in.
Delfino Island.
It's on a superior console and yet.
Oh my god. I've never. Okay, I don't think I made this clear. I've never played this. I've always wanted to. I was gonna do a JonTron on it, but I never got around to it because I thought it was obvious. Like everybody makes fun of this game.
Makes me want to barf already.
Oh my. Well, you're okay. Hey, that's a wishful thinking. I saw
Sonic 06, everybody.
Oh my.
It's me, Andy, from the ZA Royale. How could you forget already?
How could you ever forget about
I'm
such
Andre.
iconic
We
and
just
memorable
faced off
characters?
last night.
Oh, trainers from last night? Sorry, not ringing a bell. So must not have been much of a challenge. Oh my. Dang.
They talking shit.
Battle zone activated. Battle zones are intense. Escape from the battle zone.
Dude, why does this remind me so much of Sonic 06? It's crazy.
You just walk out of it, right?
This way.
Not
that way.
Oh.
It's like Battlefield 6. I like this song. This way. What if I go this way? Not that way.
This game doesn't treat you like you're retarded. They know you're retarded because you bought the game.
Yep, exactly, dude.
They just know that.
I love these games where the computer tells you which way you can go. Ready to die?
No.
No, wait. My friend here isn't part of...
I don't believe anyone asked you.
Sounds like you got a killer, Pokey Girl.
The points I earned from trouncing you will propel me up the ranks.
You are
Oh, wow.
challenged by Bridget, the waitress.
Oh, God.
It's crazy when Pokemon 2000, the movie, looks better than this. That's insane to me. A movie that came out in the year 2000. Embarrassing.
If you kill me in a battle zone, you're not gonna get that good of a
A
tip.
level 4.
This fighting is actually different. This is actually they actually did a different combat in Pokemon.
Yeah. Wow.
Can I go over this kick? Can I do like a
They
little
killed
kick,
a rabbit.
kick Bumblebee in the head? Oh wow, Pokey Girl, you're something. Now
Oh,
you know.
wow, Pokey Girl, you're something. Now you know how intense battles are.
intense battle
That was intense. Yep.
zones are. Now
Dude, this game is for babies.
I might have to hate play this game. I might have to. Maybe I do this tomorrow if I
Don't do
go
it.
live. I go live.
Don't give them money.
Tomorrow, and I hate.
Actually, no. That'd actually probably be pretty fire.
Play Pokemon.
I hope he does it.
Because I've just.
Somebody said in his chat, do Digimon instead, please. For the love of God.
I've been so mad about this. I think I might have to do it.
Understand how intense battle zones are. Not that way. This is like being in a hedge maze, but every time you go the wrong way, the hedge maze goes.
Yeah.
No, not that way. You can relax now. We're out of the battle zone. Hotel Z's just through here. This way? Not that way. Oh, what's this song?
Oh, God.
Oh, I like this music. They definitely surpassed Catalion's soundtrack.
So everything...
Dude, Sonic 06 had a better soundtrack than this. Holy shit. What? People like this? Why are people glazing this so much?
This is insane. Like, so everything is cosmetic. You can't open most doors. Everything in the area is just a basically static image. You know what's really funny is that if an indie developer had made this, people would be making videos about how bad it is. They would be making videos about how this is like another Kickstarter that was a scam, and oh yeah, they said they're...
Watching this makes me want to go back and play the old Pokemon games that they banned the original creator from. Like, you can't make... The guy who made the Diamond and Pearl all the way to, what was the last one he made? XYZ? X and Y and Z? Or was it just XY? I don't remember. But that guy is banned from making Pokemon. And he made some of the best Pokemon games. Literally, Diamond and Pearl are my favorite Pokemon era.
We're going to have these battles, and it's just actually JPEGs, and, like, look at this. Can you think about this, right? All of those Kickstarter exposed videos.
We'll find a more tranquil, relaxing stay anywhere in Lumiose, since we don't have a single other guest. Come on in. That's the mark of a good hotel. Can I go explore behind the hotel? Let's head into the hotel for now. Do I get to make any choices at all about what I want to do? Can I go up the ladder? Let's not go up the ladder ever. I gotta admit, these windows...
Dude, what happened, man? Pokemon, you used to, like, just be able to run off and get your ass kicked.
Windows are not windows. Pray, allow me a few
It
words.
is just, dude, I have to play this. I think I have to play this game, man. It's like I made like 3 videos about this game. I think I have to play it.
This is my first time seeing this. And like I'm baffled. I'm kerfuffled.
I have to play it to just to
do that.
make the you'll
Feel like
end
I'm
up
in the way.
liking it. Well, I don't know about that. But I
You've already said so much, though.
You can take the elevator to the 2nd floor. Rest up for tonight, then meet me down here in the lobby in the morning. Then I will give you more instructions to follow for the remainder of the entire video game. You will not make a single choice or decision.
Can I go this way? Time to hit the hay, don't you think?
Yeah.
Which floor would you like to go to? Guess I'll go to the one that he told me to.
Which floor do you want to go to? There's one option.
It's the only option. Lie down
You don't
on
have
your
to
bed
do
and
this
get
to
a good
yourself?
night's sleep. Now you're bossing me around.
So you wait. So you can
Following directions.
So wait a minute. Are you telling me that the hotel scene and the hotel functionality inside of Bellabog in Honkai Star Rail is more advanced and dynamic than the leading franchise for the last 30 years?
Dude. PS2. This is a PS2 game. PS2 RPG. It's crazy.
We'll be waiting, you know?
Like, seriously, dude. Like,
The view, right?
Kingdom Hearts 2 looks better than the new Pokemon. Maybe the edges aren't as clean, but like, dude, The towns look better.
Roxas? Rocket.
Like there's more going on in the backgrounds. The buildings aren't static images, all copy pasted the same. Like, dude, the PS2 era was better than current Pokemon. What is going on? One of the most important franchises, one of the biggest franchises, biggest money makers of all time. Holy shit, dude.
At a certain point, easily. This is so sad.
Actually, I have more commands for you to follow before you
Oh, I better move myself. I'm in the way.
go to sleep. Give me your phone. I'm gonna install an app on your phone now. There's the install button. Let's push it.
Uh-oh.
Lumios Bustles today with Pokimane people.
Nice to meet you. I'm Lida.
Oh, God.
I'm a dancer, and I'm gonna start talking a whole bunch of talk now.
Man, when I started this game, I just had my coffee. I had like full gaming energy. I was ready to game. And
I had this happen with Zenless Zone Zero. Is that like ZZZ actually turned out to live up to its name? So a couple of times I had considered.
I don't care about Zenless Zone Zero.
How was it?
It's just, this is sapping the life out of me. This is so boring.
Dashing? Wait, you can dash?
Like, this is worse than the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2. I remember everybody hating the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2. Well, let's move 20 years into the future when we got Pokemon Legends Z to A.
The talking is so much talking. All right, now I can truly go where I want. Nope.
Wow, just kidding.
We gotta get you in the wild zone to let you play, but before that, there's even more tutorials we have to do.
Oh, God.
Hundreds. Oh, my God, they're letting me go
Wait,
up
you
the
can
ladder.
go up a ladder?
This is getting so exciting.
I feel like maybe they're going for the long con. Because if you condition your audience into just being shit-eating retards, anything that you do will make them happy.
Yep.
So they can no longer be disappointed by anything because of what they've had to deal with. Right? They're just used to it.
This is what you get whenever you spend 20 years complaining about Pokemon when there wasn't really anything wrong with it in the first place. It was just a bunch of, I wish this, I wish that. And then they listen, and this is what you get.
At this point. Yeah, they achieved that long ago. Yeah, it's the same game. And so it doesn't even matter.
It's weather up here, huh? Now
Like
go back down the
Genshin? I don't know about
ladder. Oh, you
Genshin.
can jump
Never
down
played
off the
Genshin.
roof. Look at that.
I think you have to be a girl to play
Whoa.
Genshin.
It's really cool to go
Or Tectone.
across rooftops, right? Yeah, that was amazing.
That was almost our
I'm gonna go in
goal.
this green zone. Hey, where'd you go? It's not like everyone wants to live together with Pokemon. Some people just aren't fond of them. Like
that reminds me of something else.
Me, I hate Onyx. We're trimming the bushes, don't worry. I'm making sure my Pokemon's using moves safely.
So let me get this straight.
This is slavery! The leftoids are in support of slavery because they love this game.
You have a guy that has a slave scyther that's supposed to be trimming the bushes and, you know, doing, like, you know, the hedges, and he just stands there, and these are just static images that don't change at all. Scyther doesn't even have a cutting animation. He just...
Which they would have in the old Pokemon games, sometimes. A lot of times they just say the thing that they're standing there for and don't do it, which is just the same as, like, Pokemon Fire Red.
He just stands there. And why is the guy all dirty if Scyther is doing all the work?
Makes no sense.
By not using the moves.
Why can't you be a guy?
Suspend your disbelief.
You can't be a male in this game. This game's only for girls.
At all, and just standing still.
And
If you bring
Tectone.
us injured Pokemon, we'll heal them. But you have to install the hospital app.
Look, she's white.
I'll pass. Oh, don't be shy. It's free. Here, you have to.
You got the.
Oh my god. You're gonna have girls buying the fucking phone cases that look like that.
That's exactly why they did that too. It's to sell toys to adults.
You can no. Let me look at it already. Okay, not yet.
App installed on your phone, even though you didn't
Off
want
stream,
it.
not
You
yet,
dove right
yeah.
into using your new Pokédex app. Good job. Now install another app. This city's so big, and there's so many places we want to go, but we're not allowed to go anywhere that we want to.
Isn't it one? Wait, doesn't this entire game take place in one city? Like, do you ever get to leave this walled city?
Wow.
So it's like Attack on Titan before the first episode happened. You're just walking around.
Yeah. And there's no stakes. You just play and go. And it's fun. And it's cozy.
That's it. Okay.
It's the Pokemon store.
Got
Can I go in? No.
There's
Oh, I'm
Titans
gonna go
outside.
down
I don't
the
know. It could be a
street.
Charizard
No,
outside.
you're
How do you
not.
know?
Wild zones are sectioned off.
Nobody
areas
knows.
in the city where Pokemon can live in their natural habitat. Into the wild zone we go. Oh my god, it's so wild in here. I don't know if I can survive.
Oh, it's a bird.
Oh my god, a bird. If you keep pelting the same Pokemon with Pokeballs, you may anger it.
What? When it's angry, it can't be caught. Pokeballs will bounce off of it.
That makes no sense. That is never how Pokemon worked. Well, what the fuck are you talking about?
Look at his face.
We have to capture Weedle. Oh my god, I'm getting to play a game now. It's
Oh,
like a
wow.
video game with gameplay and all of a sudden.
You got Weedle. Great. Let me guess.
I have to get this sheep.
Kill the sheep.
Sneak attack. Ha! I'm gonna go this way now.
Oh my god.
Wow, let me do that. Walking down an alleyway has me feeling like an intrepid explorer.
Dude, this really reminds me of a Sonic game. Holy shit, dude. What is going on with this? It's just like, come on. What? It looks like Sonic Unleashed. It seriously does. Like, what is going on? Hey, look, a Pokeball. It's crazy, dude. Like, this game looks better. How does this game look better? What, bro? Give me a break. There's more going on. Like, how do you do this? How does this happen? How did we get here?
No, it's got you feeling out of breath.
I can swim. No.
No way. You cannot even go in. It's not a big deal that you can't go in the water, but it's one of those things where it's like, you can't go in the...
You can't do anything at all. You have to play within the parameters that they set up for babies.
Water. You can't jump over the bridge. You can't do fucking anything. Right? I mean, like, there's got to be, like, at a certain point, people have got to ask.
This is embarrassing. And if this was the worst of it, the video would have ended by now.
What is going on here?
Purple. I want to get that purple thing. Come back to the hotel. You can't do that.
Oh, that's a Pidgey. It's a Pidgeotto, right?
Oh, look. I can sit on a bench.
This is the most base thing the game has. Anti-homeless measures inside of a Pokemon game. So they put these here.
Why would they give you the option to sit if it just tells you this is no time to be sitting? What are we doing?
Here in places like LA, so hobos don't sleep on the bench. And they have them in Pokemon. So Pokemon's super woke with like 10 different things, but they have anti-homeless measures on the benches. It's supposed to be Paris? No, there's no PvP.
I think I've finally like gotten past the tutorial. Now I get to choose what I want to do, right?
What do you want to do?
Ready for more tutorials?
A little field trip? Up here, come on.
Up here, come on.
No way, you're gonna have to go over that bridge.
What? I can't
press any button. Can you, and just so I can be clear on this, you can't jump in this game, right? There are areas where you can like jump if it's like a specific area, but like you can't just like stand there and jump, right? Okay.
Somebody hold on. Did I see that right? Okay, no, I thought somebody said GTA 06, like Sonic 06. Okay, whatever. Okay. No fun allowed.
There's no spacebar functionality. Got it.
No. I can't even turn my Switch off. My controller's completely unresponsive right now. I don't even know how to. How is it?
Oh my god, are you serious?
I don't even know how to turn my Switch off. Maybe I have to like hold the power button on the Switch.
Doesn't.
Okay, I turned it off.
Wait, is that the game?
And it just stopped working. Okay. Alright, Nintendo. Yeah, if you bought a Nintendo and you bought this game, you kind of deserved it, in my opinion. I think we're coming back around, guys. I think things are starting to look up. Don't forget to hit that PayPal link down there in the description. I love you forever. Can somebody please help me with this? Because I've tried to find the original video from 2017. Everybody just keeps saying the same thing. MSNBC removed it. What about reaction channels? What about reposts? What about news channels? What about memes? And I remember when this situation happened, I watched all the footage, never saw this happen. I'm not a leftoid. I'm not a rightoid. What, like, and they're all saying the same thing. The biggest fraud in American history is MSNBC falsely aired a video from 2017 claiming it was live, no Kings rally footage in Boston. Show me the link, please. Please, somebody. Provide me a link to the original video. Show me something. Because we got Terrible. We've even got... Well, I was trying to... But here's another one. Here's another one. This is just some random person. We've even got Alex Jones reporting this.
So the corporate media, the MSM, is running an old video from 2017 of protests in Boston.
Oh, yeah?
Against Trump. It's maybe 100,000 people.
Dude, I'm so disappointed in this because I actually like Alex Jones.
And saying it's the biggest protest in history, which it's not, it's tiny compared to the biggest, and that it's happening
That's true.
currently. They're running it on cable news, they're running it all over the internet, X, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. And they know full well, A, it's not the biggest protest ever, and it is from 2017.
Provide links.
Years ago.
Everybody keeps showing the same community note screenshot, and it even says, needs more ratings, not shown on X, notes suggesting context, okay, to be shown with the post. Yeah, this isn't real. And it was proposed by an experimental AI. Like, come on, man.
This is the fraud of these people. But it is white supremacy. The rallies I saw in Austin today, the rallies I saw around the country via the web.
White supremacy. Come on, man. Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, sure, like, most of the people they're reporting on are old white people. And most of the people that showed up probably were old white people. But now I just don't believe anything. I don't believe anything ever now. See right here, not shown on X, rape proposed by community notes. Not on anything. There are no community notes. Milla Joy. Almost 500,000 followers. We got Terrible. 1.3 million followers. William Hall, who's this? Oh, nobody, okay. David Wells. Nobody, okay. Defiant L's. Even Defiant L's. And I like Defiant L's. 1.6 million followers. Right Angle News Network. How big are they? 300,000 followers. Readers added context. Where have I have not seen this anywhere. There's nowhere I'm seeing a community note. This video is not from today. You fools believed it. You're all falling for this narrative right here. Please show me an original video. And people are saying that they removed it. Okay, they can't remove everything. And I keep seeing this too. What is this? What does this even do? What does this mean? Show me where this is from. I've seen this so many times too, where they're like, here's the new footage, here's the original footage, or here's the original, here's the new. Which one? Which one's which? I feel like I'm losing my mind. Because everybody is just constantly lying. I've had enough, dude. I've had enough. But let's go ahead and move on to the leftoid news, because like I'm gonna lose my mind on the right. That's why I watch people like Tim Pool, because he isn't saying anything about it. I hope that he says something about everybody lying tonight on Timcast, but we'll see. We'll see. I doubt it, because it's not important enough. It's just insane.
The current government shutdown is the longest in U.S. history. And The Guardian says Republicans are showing the first noticeable crack, but this is largely around...
Yeah, the Republicans, you know what they're going to do? They're going to keep perpetuating this, even though the Democrats are the ones who are shutting it down. They're going to perpetuate this, and then they're just going to allow it to happen. All of it was just going to be for nothing. That's what's going to happen. That's what happens every fucking time. Dude, I hate the left and I hate the right. And it's really just the people that are in the media.
ACA benefits, and I got some insider information for you guys. There are a couple theories as to what is currently going on. I believe the government shutdown right now is largely a protest by Democrats trying to cause PR damage to Republicans. Republicans control all the government. So Democrats are saying it's their fault. They could just vote to open it, which is not true, because in the Senate, they need 60 or so votes, I think around 60, to actually pass the budget. Democrats are refusing to sign on, and it's because of the health care for illegal immigrants. They've claimed to the media that it has nothing to do with health care for illegal immigrants, but that's a lie. What they're actually trying to give is anybody who entered the country illegally who simply says the word asylum is now a legal entrant, they argue, which would extend benefits to them. I think the shutdown was extended specifically so that Democrats could attend the No Kings protest, so that they could pump this up and allocate their resources in this direction. Many people agree with the assessment, but now it looks like we're having internal communications that prove just this. On MSNBC, they basically admit it. They are saying outright, guess what? It was bad optics. Bad optics, they call it, to open the government before the protest could happen. Let me play this clip for you.
Well, first of all, the president has been very active throughout this process, but it's also his position that this is a thing that the Senate needs to work out. A lot of our friends in the Senate have said that it was just bad optics for Democrats to open the government before the No Kings rally, and that now there's a shot that this week things will come together and very quickly the moderate Democrats will move forward and get us an open government, at which point we could negotiate whatever policies they want to negotiate with regular order. Now, I was very pleased to see that my friend Senator Shaheen from New Hampshire, a very sound-minded Democrat, came out and supported opening the government on Friday. So it means that there's sort of cracks in the Schumer armor. I think the Schumer shutdown is likely to end sometime this week. But I can tell you that if the story that we've been basically hearing from moderates that, look, we just can't do it in front of the No Kings rally, if that ends up not being true, then I think that the White House is going to have to look very closely, along with Russ Vought, at stronger measures that we could take to bring them to the table.
So the funny thing here, I think I think Democrats can't reopen the government, ever. They can't. They're going to argue that Trump is a king, and we don't want any kings, and so we have to resist the king. How are you going to then go and vote to give the king all the money he's asking for, even if it is just for ACA benefits? The Guardian says the U.S. government shutdown extended to its 20th day on Monday with no resolution in sight, as a prominent Republican lawmaker publicly broke ranks with party leadership over the decision of Mike Johnson. Marjorie Taylor Greene on Monday morning criticized Johnson's strategy. The House should be in session working. We should be finishing appropriations. Our committees should be working. We should be passing bills that make President Trump's executive orders permanent. I have no respect for the decision to refuse to work. I agree with that. Get the job done.
Yep. It's fucking bullshit that, oh, the government shut down. Democrats shut down the government. So you're just going to not work? You're just going to do nothing? You're on vacation? What the fuck?
The call out from Greene, who is aligned with the right flank of her party.
I don't even like Marjorie Taylor Greene. She was the one who came up with the Jewish space lasers. Like, come on.
Is the first noticeable crack levied on Johnson's hardline approach from the GOP, blah, blah, blah. Democrats did this so they could join the protest, and Democrats don't want to reopen the government because they want to make a political statement, and they want to hurt the right. Well, let's take a look at what CNN says. Trump admin and government shutdown updates. Before I read this, I will tell you. Hey, we at Timcast, we've interviewed many people who have previously worked in government, at the time weren't in government, and now are in government, and at the time were in government as well. So I know many people who are currently working in government and had been working in government. Let me tell you, rumors around the Beltway, this shutdown could go past Christmas. Democrats have no reason whatsoever to give in to the Republicans' demands and vote yes. Literally none. There is no benefit.
Yeah, because if they don't bring in the illegal immigrants, if they don't allow illegal immigrants, then they have no more votes.
Right now, the longer this goes on, the general public blames the Republicans. Not that I really care about the government shutdown, but there are people who are not going to get paid. Trump is saying the military has to get paid, and he's pulling funds to pay them. But their liberals are now arguing this is illegal, and he could be impeached for doing it because he's pulling funds without approval from Congress, who controls the purse.
Yep.
That's why Democrats are doing this.
Fucking, it's so mixed up. It is so mixed up. Fuck them. Fuck them. Do it anyway. Like, what is the problem, dude?
They want Trump to hurt. They want people to think Republicans are the ones who are at fault.
I know so many people who think that people think that the Republicans are behind the shutdown. You know who's behind the shutdown? I'll tell you who's behind the shutdown. It's both of them. Both parties are fucking evil. They're fucking evil. I'm telling you, dude, it is ridiculous.
Well, that may work. But I'll tell you this, I don't care. One of the benefits that Trump is receiving from this play is that they're able to fire a ton of government employees the longer the government is shut down. So Democrats want to play this game. Trump can play it too. And I think in the end, Trump gets what he wants. Even if it hurts them in the long run.
I think that that the leftoids are gonna get the dumbass sheep leftoids to crash out and cause violence by the end of this. There's gonna be riots over this, and a lot of people are gonna die. And then you know what's gonna happen? Republicans are gonna be like, we don't want any more people to die, so we're just gonna allow the Democrats to do everything that they want to do.
I think the attitude from Trump is, let's take what we can get and get it out of there. But let me do this. We've got this from Kalshi. There's a couple things I want to show you from Kalshi. How long will the government shutdown last? 37 days is the current forecast, though it recently declined. I think it's absolutely hilarious. But people are saying more than 34 days, which means at least a couple more weeks. But I do want to do this. Let's jump to the front page of Kalshi. Let's go to politics.
The good thing that's coming out of this is the government's not doing anything. So that's kind of a good thing. Because they usually only do bad things.
Let's see if we can... there's the government shutdown. We're scrolling through here. I want to find the cap on gambling loss reduction repeal, though. That's interesting. We're going to have to search for midterm. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Will the Democrats hold a midterm convention? How many seats will they lose? What I want to find is which party will win next year. This one matters. We can see here it's kind of leveled off. But it's supposed to be 90%, 80% for Democrats because historically the opposition party wins. Well, right now, based on a Supreme Court hearing on redistricting, as well as Democrats' general political failures,
this is going to lead to civil war, man. Every single thing, we just inch closer and closer, and things get crazier and crazier. Especially with that No Kings protest that was like mostly peaceful, which it actually was this time. There wasn't any like cities being burned down. But that's just creating more negative sentiment. And like, I'm cool with the protests happening. I'm just not cool with the messaging, and I'm not cool with what's going to happen in the future. I know where this leads. Whenever all of these people are against Trump, and all the other people are against the Democrats, the leftoids, this is going to end in civil war. And I don't even like to say that, but I don't see any other option unless we just fire every single person on the left and on the right in the government and start over. And all the people that we fired are not allowed back in there. And if you make a certain amount of money, get the fuck out. You're not allowed. If you're a CEO, you're not allowed. If you have ties to businesses, you're not allowed. That's the only fucking way we get through this. That we get around this, it's just going to keep getting worse.
It's almost 50-50. It's currently, the current number is 50, is that what it is, 57? Well, the last number, October 20, no, it's 55.9 to 44.1. It's all just...
What's going to happen is you're going to have Democrats get in and destroy everything that we love, and Republicans are going to ban the rest of it. And we're just going to have nothing.
Call it 55 to 45. That's crazy. Now, call she's not polls, it's a prediction market. But it is pretty nuts, if you ask me, that this is even possible.
If the Republicans win forever, everything's just going to get banned. Instead of coming in and changing culture and destroying culture, they're just going to outright ban culture. And I fucking hate it, dude. It's so bad on both sides, and everybody's like, oh, both sidesism, fuck them. Fuck them all. Now, let's move on to the Antifa, which is not a terrorist organization. Which, if you saw my last video about terrorism, it 1000% is. Also, Tim Pool, I almost call him Tim Cool. Tim Pool pointed it out. This is from JD Delay, yeah.
Important interview that I have ever done. Today we are going to be speaking with an ex-member of the terrorist organization Antifa.
It's just an idea, JD Delay. What are you talking about?
He was a street member.
You can't ban an idea. We have free speech in this country.
Of an Oregon chapter, and he is going to give us all of the behind-the-scenes knowledge and inner workings of this terrorist organization.
Portland is unbelievable what's going on. And these are paid terrorists, okay?
The Trump administration needs to start treating Antifa like ISIS, the terrorists that they are.
From talking about how their leaders...
I remember when they were arresting people for being suspected of being ISIS, even when they weren't. Like my best friend. He went to prison for 4 years because he was deemed an ISIS terrorist on the news. And all he did was light fireworks behind a cop car. And he did 4 years for that. And we got people doing way, way, way worse and just being let out. We got people literally killing people. Nothing happens to them. Or they get like 6 years, 10 years. And my friend did 4. Like, come on. Get fucking real.
Works, how their hierarchy is formed, how he got into Antifa, and what they are doing to raise their money, as well as what their ultimate goal is: a civil war in America. We need to push this information out there so that more people know what is actually going on. So please like, comment, and share. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are joined by a very special guest. We have Ty with us, and Ty was actually a member of the organization Antifa. Ty, welcome. Thank you for spending the time to come and talk to us today. I understand.
Fuck. Oh, fuck. Why does he look like me?
And that you were able to actually deprogram.
Well, I guess he's based now.
Get away from Antifa, and I want you to know that we're all super proud of you, and we really appreciate you being here with us today, brother.
Thanks, man. I feel the love. Like, I appreciate your shout outs. I appreciate your reaching out. You have amazing followers. They're all flocking to my channel. And, you know, for the most part, it's nothing but love. So thank you guys for keeping it real. Yeah, it means a lot. This hasn't been an easy journey. So thank you guys.
And it should always be love, man. Like, that's really the way that we fix this, is by finding common ground, by, you know, finding mutual things that we have in common and not letting that...
Yeah, right now, the only thing the left and the right have in common is that they hate each other and that there's going to be civil war.
That gap keep growing because things are escalating.
And this is why I'm a fucking anarchist, dude. And, like, I got pushed onto the right because of the leftoid freaks, but I really am not. I really am not on the right.
That's not going to be good for either side, any of the American people. And all it really does when things escalate and they get into violence, in my opinion, we are purposefully divided by the ones who are actually in power, because it's so much easier to control us and keep their foot on our neck if we're fighting with each other, while they absolutely bleed us dry and we lose our...
And they destroy our culture. That's really, really what it is all about. Because you can't control people who have a free culture. You have to destroy the free culture.
Only chance at the American dream. So I wanted to ask you, how long were you in Antifa?
I believe it was about 2 years, 2018 to 2020.
And were you recruited? Did you seek them out? How exactly did that work?
I sought them out. I was very well aware from the beginning that it was an organization. I just wasn't sure how it operated, and I never fell into any particular group or cell. I was kind of a drifter, so I just kind of blew where the wind took me. I was led into and out of the chaos, but yeah, I sought them out.
So you may have been a drifter, but can you clarify this for us? As somebody who was in Antifa, is it a actual organization?
100,000%. Don't let anybody fool you otherwise.
And they have like a hierarchy and a leadership structure. What is that like?
Well, the way I classify the two classes of Antifa, at least street level, you have the devotees and you have the wannabes. The devotees are people like me, people who are really in it for the Civil War aspect. We knew damn well we were playing in Civil War territory. We wanted to fight. We wanted to take out our political enemies. We wanted to take out all our rage. We were willing to do what the little trans kids on the college campus would.
Well, guess what with all these Antifa freaks? Smashing Pumpkins said it perfectly. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage.
Right? They're the wannabes, the furries, the one coming out in the dinosaur suits, you know, all of which is made to make it look light and fluffy, while people like me were behind the scenes. I would walk around with a machete half the size of my fucking leg. I called it my self-defense machete. It's fucking pathetic. But so the devotees kind of use the...
Yeah, they're LARPing. They're LARPing as revolutionaries.
Wannabe class as human shield. So a lot of the time the wannabes would get taken out first because they want to be virtuous. They want to be there with their cameras at the front, and then holy shit, here come the rubber bullets. And then the ones in the back can be like, see, we told you. And then some of them can go to fight, and then others can go to run away.
That's crazy, man. So, would you classify...
And it doesn't matter if they go to jail, as we were seeing during COVID, that there were organizations coming together and actual politicians coming together to get the money together to bail them out and to pay their legal fees and launch GoFundMes and all of that.
This organization as terroristic?
Yep. My thoughts
going like you're saying they want civil war, so...
Yeah, it's a domestic terror organization. I wish it could have gone differently. I love alternate history as much as the next guy. I'd love to see what that world looks like, but unfortunately the reality is, like, this is bad. This is a white boy jihad, and it's gonna get fucked up.
Well, I'm hoping...
That was fucking based, dude. white boy jihad. Yeah, 1,000,000%. That's all that I'm seeing from these groups. And like, there are black people, but like, it's straight up just autistic white kids, man, who are just so full of rage and hate because they're bought by the social media. Like, people in power want this to happen. By the way, Republicans want this to happen too, because they got somebody to go after.
We can avoid that. I don't know exactly how we would get there, but it seems almost like it has elements of a cult per se. Did you see elements of sort of a cultish structure there?
It's a cult, but it's a cult with cults, I'm realizing, which is even fucking worse.
You know, they say that it's just an ideology.
A cult of cults. Yeah, a bunch of cults that are coming together, that are all different, but they all come together and work together as one single giant organization. We call those cells.
And it's just an idea, but they have structure. They have, it feels like there's layers to the whole thing, and it seems like it's very complex. Did you ever see anything that made you think that they were funded from any outside entities?
I started doing some investigations into my channel, and along the way I met this guy, and he told me he was a part of Antifa, but he was very, very paranoid, and I didn't really know why, so I kind of had to work my way in and be like, dude, like, what's going on with you? And what I ultimately learned is that he was being gang stalked by criminal organizations that he had been a part of. He had gotten into Antifa for probably a couple weeks, couple months, I can't remember specifically, but he was going in as a drug mule to sell drugs to these kids. And he was also leaning on the anti-fascist ideology. He had his own gripes with white supremacy from his past and his family, and he wanted to fight Nazis, but he realized how stupid they were. But then he just kind of stayed embedded because he still had to make the money, right? He told me a lot, essentially that Chinese criminal syndicates were in control of Portland and God knows how much of the rest of Oregon. He just told me Portland.
That's what I've been saying this whole time, dude. Like, it's literally China and the Mexican cartels that are behind all of this. And you know who controls the Mexican cartels, don't you? It's China.
But essentially that they were sending agents in and they were mitigating the chaos, and that they had people everywhere, and that when a riot breaks out on one side of the city.
Also, international trillionaire organizations like the payment processors, Visa, MasterCard, BlackRock, Vanguard, you know, all those, like, all the ones that we always talk about that are absolutely horrible, doing evil shit. They're all behind stuff like this, and they all do these things separately together to cause all this shit to happen. Like, who's funding this, huh? Who's funding all of this shit? Besides the donations, because let me tell you, donations ain't enough to do all of this shit, to organize like this.
And all the cops and all the resources and all the media are there, and they can monitor the traffic from their agents, their drones, their people in certain places. That gives them leeway to do operations like child trafficking, weapons trade, drug trade. So while we were all fighting each other, and we're all wondering, where are the kids? Why is there so many drugs? Why are all these people so militant? This is what was happening. This was the reality of what right versus left brought us in this country. That's the fucking reality of Antifa.
It sounds like they're also being funded through illegal activities. Is Antifa participating in illegal activities to raise their funding for the organization and the things that they're doing?
I believe that local businesses, at least I can say in Eugene, a lot of these far left areas, especially areas of entertainment, and let's just say debauchery, a lot of the bars, a lot of them were in bed with Antifa, and I think a lot of them were getting in bed with local charities and NGOs.
Yeah, just the same as Mexican cartels are doing, by the way. And I know a lot about this. For one, literally my best friend got mixed up in the cartels in prison and was basically an honorary Mexican. I don't want to go any deeper into that, but I also know about cartel that was running the strip clubs, running the vape shops in my hometown, small town, small area, and they were running all of the shit, man. They were selling vape additives to kids, and even the cops were part of it because they weren't doing anything about it, and they knew about it. You know why? Because they were buying it too. Even the mayor Like, we were working there. Me and another friend were working at the vape shop in my hometown, literally selling the stuff to everybody. So many people would come in. So many people you wouldn't think that were like tied up into local politics, that were tied up in county politics. It was crazy. And they'd all go to the strip club. It's like they were bought. They were bought by the crime that they were involved in.
Really believe that, look, the National Guard is great and everything. You really want to sink these motherfuckers? Sick the IRS on them. Audit everybody, because there's multiple ways that these kids were getting funding. You know, for a lot of them, people like me, it was kind of like Scientology, pay to play. Yeah, you got to pay your bills, but you might also need the mask for tomorrow type stuff. And then for the girls in Antifa, a lot of them were sex workers. So they're making a shit ton of money that guys like us couldn't make. And then on the community level, a lot of these bars and a lot of these downtown businesses, they pride themselves on the idea of revolution, a new world.
You say you want a revolution, well, you know, we all want to change the world.
Apocalyptic narratives that we're all going to die. You go around to all these places and it has satanic imagery fucking everywhere.
I mean, it sounds borderline like the women might even be being trafficked to a certain extent by the organization, but have you seen stuff?
And a lot of them allow themselves to be trafficked.
Like drug dealing going on, and have you seen any possible links? I know you mentioned Chinese organizations. Have you seen any links with cartels and Antifa?
Well, the Chinese syndicates would be communist Chinese cartels. So they're their own form of cartel. But I think especially as Texas pushed out a lot of the migrant crisis, you started to notice there was more Mexicans popping up there. I think a lot of that was going on. I have my suspicions. I won't say them on camera, just on the off chance that I'm wrong, because I don't want to take a bullet to the head. But I do believe that there are multiple syndicates and criminal organizations that play here.
Okay, so you've already said that they were encouraging edging towards civil war. Have you seen Antifa pushing its members towards escalating violence?
100%. And they play with the same language that gets played in the Middle East. They throw it all around Oregon. You'd see it sprayed.
Yep, white boy jihad.
Painted around the campuses. Antifada. Antifada.
Yep.
And the word Antifa.
Hasan Piker likes to say that, by the way. Very much tied up with terrorist organizations. And I think he's taking funny money, and he's directly tied to Twitch. And I think Twitch is taking funny money because they're all either in support of terrorism or they turn a blind eye to it. And literally, Hasan Piker has been saying the things that he's saying. That they say. It's crazy. It's crazy, right? Holy shit.
Is literally in that. So, I mean, sometimes the universe just tells you things flat out. A lot of what's happening in the Middle East, it's really the same
Bella Ciao
as what's going on here. We're in the early stages of stone throwing. That stone throwing led to...
Dude, we're seeing a lot more of it. It's getting worse. Next, you'll be seeing them actually throwing Molotov cocktails at police. A bunch of police are going to die. And you know where that leads? Military.
A lot of public optics of, oh no, the kids are being shot at. They're being attacked. How horrible. How horrible. Meanwhile, the footage of them punching a police officer gets blocked out. So you're dealing with a culture that's essentially creating a narrative of almost an apartheid system. That's kind of why they look at you guys like you and get scared. They're like, you are not a part of our society. The same way people over in Israel, or sorry, over in the other side of that in Gaza, they'll be like, oh, you're colonialist. You're settlers. Like, they're looking at a lot of these conflicts overseas and they're LARPing and they're putting themselves in that exact same position because this is a globalist movement. This is all nations. This is in the UK. This is in Ireland.
Holy shit, this guy is saying literally the exact same things that I've been saying. It's giving me chills because I don't like to be this right. This is fucked up.
This is in Africa. This is in Japan. And a lot of them really seek a world without borders, but at the same time, you have to have borders. So it's a very discoherent system, but the media really props it up. Like,
yeah, it's just the death cult doing like blood rituals. It's satanic. All they want is chaos. That's literally the only thing they want. They don't actually want a society for them to live in. They want there to be no society, and they just want violence. and death.
AZI, whenever the federal courthouse got attacked again recently, they're like, oh my God, protesters are being kidnapped. No, they're being detained.
Let me ask you this. How were you able to get out? And what triggered you to want to get out of Antifa?
Getting out of Antifa was like getting out of a bad relationship. I put up with so much. I did so much. I saw so much. You know, half the channel, I'm still going through all the stories of all the things I did. But the short answer for getting out, doing everything they told me not to do. Listening to people they told me not to listen to, listening to music they told me not to listen to, watching movies they told me not to watch, reading books they told me not to read, talking to people they told me not to talk to, which is a major cult aspect of that. They encourage you to sever ties with your family.
It's straight up it's Satanism. Like, that's satanic shit. Like, all of the things that you think that Satan would have people do, that's what's going on here.
And I did that. I didn't even get to see my grandmother on her deathbed because she was a white supremacist. This is why I'm so fucking passionate about this. I lost so
let's go back to what Alex Jones said at the beginning of this video, huh?
much of my life to these motherfuckers, and people wonder why I'm still so hurt.
Do not use the same rhetoric that they are using.
Because they don't hear about this. They think I'm a crazy conspiracy theorist and, oh, the past should be in the past. And it's like, no, if this is happening to thousands of people every fucking day, all of their targets, they don't go after Nazis. I was studying Nazis. I was very confused why no one around me wanted to know about actual Nazis. So I didn't spend much time in the Proud Boys. I don't think they're actual Nazis, so I wasn't fucking worried about them, you know? But they don't like to talk about that stuff because it's scary. What's a threat to them is people like Charlie Kirk, who convince people like me, hey, you're fucking up. Come back here, buddy.
Yeah, they're not going to fuck with people who are going to do the exact same things that they're going to do to them in the streets. No, they're going to go after people they know aren't going to actually go after them in the streets. That's what happens.
You know, there's a man upstairs that loves you. Do you know you got a mommy and daddy at home that miss you very much? Do you know you look like a fucking asshole on these drugs? That's who they hate because they threaten the cult.
Was there a tipping point? Was there one thing, or was it just an accumulation of things that made you want to start questioning the ideology and what was going on?
There's just so much of it, because you got to remember, none of us are ever out there sober. You've never seen a sober Antifa member in your life. So there was a lot of disassociation, and there was a lot of times that Daryl Davis came out, and I'm like, I want to go talk to the conservatives. And then there was just other times that I just felt it was so chaotic, and everybody's screaming. I was there, you know, at one point screaming, all cops are bastard, and we're all chanting, and somebody fired a gun in the middle of in the air. So it's like moments like that, it would snap me out of that, and then it would have me go back into war mode. And I think that's just what disgusted me, is over time realizing how much I lost, how many friendships I severed, how stupid I was being, how much I destroyed myself. Like, I have so much physical damage now from all the fucking drugs that, like, a lot of mental damage. Which is probably one of the only reasons I'm so cocky in doing this, is because my brain's fried and the parts telling me to stop talking are gone. But
let's talk about something positive. Where is your life at today? Like, where is your heart and your spirit and your head at today, now that you've been able to distance yourself and find some time and some peace?
I'm still struggling a lot. You know, I put down the beer 3 days ago. The last beer I had was actually when I was doing that message to you. I was like, you know what? Let me just kind of mark this to remember it. Hopefully I stick with it. But I'm still an addict. Like, I still struggle, you know. I'm learning how to integrate into regular life, because even before Antifa, so much of my life was crazy that I have a very hard time talking to normal people. People don't have a good time understanding this. Like, I feel better and it feels good to be doing this, but there is still kind of like a part that hurts, because the change has been made. And I was about to give up on the podcast, but I was just praying to God, like, hey, give me a sign.
Yeah, I kind of feel what he's talking about with talking to normal people too, but my problem is talking to normal people. I kind of have to dumb myself down a little bit, not saying normal people are dumb, but they just don't pay attention and they deny that things are going on. It's like they deny their lying eyes. You know what I mean? They deny that there's terrorism. They deny that they are perpetuating it a lot of times with the rhetoric that they're saying that's exactly the same as Antifa, but on the other side. Calling for death of people, saying that President Biden should be assassinated, stuff like that. That is absolutely disgusting. I don't care. No violence toward anybody.
That I need to keep going. Like, if I don't want to put this down, I feel like I need to do this, but also everybody's telling me to stop. My mission this whole time has just been to find one other Antifa member, ex-Antifa member, to sit down on camera.
You know what, though? Like, I completely understand. It's when it comes to things like cults, I personally can understand because of my lifestyle and addiction and the criminology. And
I'm gonna have to look into this guy after this interview. I'm gonna see what his channel is all about. I might do some reaction to his channel.
And the way that I lived that lifestyle, a lot of those people I had really bad toxic relationships with, and I miss them. Most of them are dead. Most of fentanyl came in and killed most of them, and I have a lot of conflicted feelings about that. As much as I hate methamphetamines, I still had a 20-year relationship with that substance. And there's times where I still feel like a longing or a sorrow because of its absence in my life, but the consequences were absolutely devastating, and it turned me into a slave. But they're complicated feelings because we're complex creatures. And I think it would be really awesome if you were able to find someone that you could, talk with, possibly podcast with. So hopefully this reaches other people that are ex-Antifa members. And even if you're not, if you want to know more about Antifa and how Antifa works and all of the behind the scenes of Antifa, from somebody who's safe and isn't trying to indoctrinate you into the cult, I highly recommend that you go and you subscribe to Ty, whose channel is Triple B Collective, right here on YouTube.
All right.
There's going to be a link in the description. I'm also going to add him as a collaborator, so you'll be able to easily and accessibly find him. Please go and sub and check out his journey and check out where...
Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. Hold on. What was it? It was... Triple B, what, you know what? He didn't add him as a collaborator. The Triple B Collective. Definitely go to this guy's channel and subscribe. He's only a little bit bigger than me. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm definitely checking this out. This looks very, very interesting. I am super... Okay. I'm gonna check this out real quick.
The underdog is ICE. They've got less than 10,000 agents with 20+ million illegals just under Biden here. And to answer your question, the left is so entitled that these illegal aliens aren't illegal alien MS-13 people from El Salvador. No, they're Maryland, man. And so Trump has to address it and explain to people that these illegal aliens, the Islamicists, the left, the Black Lives Matter, the Trantifa, the tranny Antifa, they are all in one big coalition. They all communicate with their rhetoric and their attack plans, and they're all saying that as soon as they have the catalyzing event...
Yeah, they're just all different terrorism cells that are all connected with each other because they all agree on terrorism.
Where a bunch of their people get massacred. It's in movies, it's in the Podesta plan. I've got countless videos. You see them all the time. We're out at the rally. They go, you just wait till Trump kills a bunch of us. And then once we have that pretext, even MSNBC said our constituents want blood. They want a triggering event. I mean, they're just like, once the triggering event comes, you're all dead. We're burning everything down, and we're coming to your houses. And Antifa and these other groups have targeted lists that have come out of whose houses they're going to. Governors, talk show hosts, everybody. Tucker is on the list. I'm on the list. We've caught him outside my house, folks, okay? I'm just going to leave it at that. I haven't stayed at my house in months.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk got shot in the neck.
It's gotten that bad. I mean, I stay there.
You haven't stayed at your house?
I don't stay at my house anymore. I stay there sometimes. My children don't. Because, I mean, they're there. It's targeted. And as soon as they kick this off, there are people that are first on the list that they're planning to come get. Because I'm not trying to, you know this, Tucker, you're smart. When they really launch this, it's not going to be them knocking your door down in D.C. It's going to be a group of meth heads rolling up with Molotov cocktails. And they've got these undercover videos in Austin and Portland and everywhere, hours of them. And it shows inside these warehouses where they give them drugs and money and food and the NGOs. and they're just all in there ramped up and ready with guns and weapons. And then just as soon as they give them the green light, they are going to just pile in their vans and come to kill. Well, think of Helter Skelter times 10,000. Think of the Manson family times 10,000. They've got Manson family groups in every major city and most small towns, literally, that would make the cast.
And you know who created the Manson family, by the way? It was the government. And you know who's perpetuating this? It's people in the government, people in the social media, people in the mainstream media, even people in independent media.
Of Chainsaw Massacre look like choir boys ready to go.
Dude, absolutely true. Holy shit. And I was shitting on Alex Jones at the beginning, but he's only 1% wrong, I think, about things. That whole MSNBC 2017 video thing, I think that's such a non-issue, but it really makes me think that, like, the right wing is just completely fucking retarded, dude. Like, there's no way that the right wing's... there's no way we come out on top. The only people that are going to come out on top here in this world are going to be the leftoid freaks, and they're going to destroy themselves. And then you know who comes out on top after that? Jesus Christ. Yep. That's cool. That's it. All right.
That I had made earlier this year on the, I genuinely need you all to recognize the time, what time it is, and what that phrase really means. And comments that I had made earlier this year on the Triggernometry podcast, that Trump needs to use war powers. This is the state of affairs that we are in. An accountant, a liberal anti-Trumper, has been arrested for aiming his weapon out of his vehicle and trying to murder a Trump supporter.
It's going to get worse. It's going to get so much worse.
The story, I'll read through it, but I'll give you the quick gist because I want to make sure the context is there.
Yep, they're going to be coming to your houses. Be prepared. And I keep trying to tell people this. I've been saying for years, it's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse until we actually do enter a civil war. And we're getting real close. I think we are actually in a civil war. Usually we have an event that sparks it off, but we never know until years after the war is over when we can look back and be like, this is where it started. We're never going to see it, I don't think. The only way we're going to know is if non-violent people win. That's the only way we know how this started.
He went to some random guy's house, tried ripping down his banner, his Trump banner. The owner of the house, seeing this man in his property, grabbed a rifle and fired warning shots.
Can't be firing warning shots. You cannot be doing that. Boogie2988 found that out. Warning shots are not good. You better shoot to kill or don't shoot at all.
So this man went to his car, grabbed his gun, aimed it out of his sunroof, and unloaded on the Trump supporter. This is not a Trump supporter who tried to kill a liberal. It is a man,
a man who is defending himself.
Liberal man who hated Trump, who tried to...
Oh, he's talking about the guy who, yeah. No, the guy with the rifle was just trying to defend his property and his home.
He did vandalize the home of a Trump supporter and then tried to murder him.
Yep.
What does it mean?
And it's going to happen more and more. And that's where I'm going to leave this video. Absolutely insane. I don't know how this doesn't lead to civil war. I think we're already in it. Like I said, dude, if you... I try and convince people that it's going to get bad. They need to have a plan. They need to be prepared, especially if they're going to be putting signs in their yard, and especially if people know about them, especially if... I think they're just going to go after people who just don't have the symbols. People are going to start putting the symbols in their yards, even though they don't believe in it. That's like all the businesses that are like, oh, I support Pride. Don't hurt me, please. I support Antifa. Don't hurt me, please. Like, you need to be prepared. It's about to get real messy. Really, really bad. And I think that the leftoids in office and the leftoids in corporations are really going to start going after right-wing people, too, who are innocent. They're going to start putting people in jail as Antifa is killing us. Donate to the PayPal. Link down there in the description. All the funds go straight to the Folly Farm. I don't keep it, man. It goes to the people here that run the operation that invited me to be a part of it. Definitely do that. We'd love you forever, man. I'll see you in the next one. So fucking crazy. I've got a link down there in the comments. You should definitely click it. Donate to the Fables Folly Farm. It's not really called that, but you know, that's what I'm going to call it because I am the one taking the donations for it. It goes directly to the farm. Even though they go to me, it goes to the farm. So you should definitely click that. It helps out so much, man. We're trying to build community here. We're trying to do really cool things here. And yes, I stole that slogan from Nick Nocturnal. So click the link.